Okay. Okay. I didn't know you had seen it, and I want to let you know. Right.
Check, check. We can't hear nothing. Yeah, we don't hear anything. Can you hear anything?
Nah, nothing. A little feedback, but that's it.
We don't hear it. Call. He said call it again. So we don't hear anything.
Saturday football showcase right here in the heart of Raleigh, North Carolina. The Shaw University Bears trying to hold down the home fort against the Central State Marauders. I'm James Tate Williams. I'm here with my man Damian Banks. And Damian, I don't think we could be in a better place on a Saturday afternoon.
Breezy, cool, not too hot. Raleigh, North Carolina. If you're in town, this is the place to be, as Central State comes all the way from Ohio to take on the Shaw Bears. And head coach Adrian Jones and the Bears are looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah, you see quarterback right there, Salsa Maya, shows one on a third down and about 7 right there, but it's going to be a 4th and about 6 right now for the Marauders now. Central State, who's coming out here to try to take over the home fort of Shaw Bears, coming up 1-1, coming off a win last week at Lincoln, 19-7, as the Shaw Bears taking their first home game of the season. Sort of a slow start for Jones and the rest of the crew here, but they're looking to turn around with hopefully their first win of the season at home.
Yeah, Central State coming off that win last week at a CIAA opponent in Lincoln has some confidence. Shaw Bears, after a loss at Division I, Davidson had some confidence too. Bears went toe-to-toe with the Pioneer League champion and was 2 points away from basically going to overtime with Davidson. So Shaw comes in with some confidence, and they come in with the confident redshirt freshman quarterback in Christian Peters.
And talking to Coach Jones before the game, that's a lot what he spoke on. He said they got a lot of confidence last week taking on Davidson, almost walking away with a win. It came down to the last drive. But this freshman redshirt quarterback, Christian Peters, 64 completion rate in the season. Coach Jones emphasized that he has to see the ball better this week, recognize coverages a little bit early, and he thinks that they could come away with one. Christian Peters right there takes a high snap, but we're off to the races early. Shaw Bears, he's going to get down to the 10-5 touchdown, first play for scrimmage for the Shaw Bears. And I don't think Coach Jones can ask for a better start right there. Sidney Gibbs, house call, first play from scrimmage. Way to start the game off for the Bears.
Before we can get to our players to watch, my player to watch, Sid the Kid Gibbs. High snap, Peters able to handle it, hands it off to Gibbs. Gibbs does the rest down the left sideline. Touchdown, Shaw Bears.
Shaw Bears came off early with a chance to attack, and boy, did they make the most of it. See the kid right there with some quick feet, nice feet right there on the spin move, able to get to the outside. And it looks like these Shaw Bears, man, they came ready to play and hold down their home turf. 7-0 early right here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yes, Sidney Gibbs coming off a 100-yard effort and a touchdown versus Davidson. So you know he was confident coming into this game. Again, high snap, Peters able to corral it with the handoff. And once Gibbs got through the first initial line, it was like the skies. It was clear.
Nothing but real estate in front of him.
Nothing but real estate.
Christian Peters, he may be the freshman redshirt quarterback, but he looked mighty poised in that pair right there, corralling the snap and able to still hand it off to, as you say, Sid the Kid Gibbs, who now he's averaging about 6 yards per carry so far through 2 games this season, but I think that's going to help it raise up. So the Shaw University Bears right now getting ready to kick off one more time to Central State. And I think Central State right now, they got to look back to hopefully get a good play on offense, or at least knock down a first down to get some momentum back on their side.
You couldn't ask for a better way to start the game. 3 and out defensively for Shaw. gets the ball back on offense, one play touchdown. Now let's see if they could continue that defensive effort that they had against Davidson. Davidson jumped out to that early 14-0 lead, and Shaw's defense really stepped up in that second half, kept them in the ball game until their offense got up to speed. So couldn't ask for a better start if you're head coach Adrian Jones and this Shaw Bears staff.
Going to be a strong kickoff. It's going to be a touchback for Central State. And Central State, man, I'm ready to see this offense. It's getting a little chippy there early, but you love to see it right here. It's going to be a hard-fought game here today in Raleigh, but Central State, as I was mentioning earlier, their quarterback, Amaya, he's going to start this week. Actually, it was a game-time decision for Coach Rome. He wasn't sure he was going to start after having 3 quarterbacks last week take snaps on the center, but Amaya's going to get the nod today, and it's going to be interesting to see how he bounced back after throwing a couple picks last week and see if he can get this Marauders offense on the right track.
Yes, Siaosi Amaya did get the majority of the snaps last week at Lincoln, and they were able to come out with the win. So head coach Bobby Rome II is going to go with him. They have to answer the Bears' drive. On their drive, try to come up with some type of momentum.
And that's a good start right there. A good throw to get Amaya in rhythm right there as he throws it out to number 5. That's going to be Kalen Abrams. Now, Kalen Abrams, that's going to be Saeed Sibli, who is a junior, 6'1" junior out of Newport News, Virginia. Good route right there, and it's going to be about a 2nd and 4, 2nd and manageable right here for Amaya.
And that's one of the strengths of Shaw University is their secondary and their linebacking core. Have multiple players who are preseason CIAA and Jaleel Scroggins, Deshaun Wallace. So look for Central State to try to do what they're doing there, try to run the ball to soften up this defense.
And that's DeMonte Dunlap right there, was able to make a couple moves and make it what it seems to be a 3rd and inches now. Mr. Dunlap, he had a game. Now, he has only played 1 game, but boy, what a game has he had so far this season. The freshman running back had 15 rushes for 120 yards. Now, he wasn't able to hit pay there, but he made some defenders pay last week with a lot of hard-nosed running. As like we're going to have a break and play right here.
Yeah, I think they're going to give Dunlap this first down. It was close. Thought about bringing out the sticks, but they're going to go ahead and give him that first down.
So fresh set of downs right here for Central State on about their own 35, sort of going into this trips left look as Amaya is going to take the snap. Quick pass over to the left side. They're going to pick up about a gain of about 5 right there. Pass to number 82, Justin Oberprice.
Yeah, that's one way to soften up that defense. If you can't really get a lot of run yards, do a little short passing plays, get the quarterback in rhythm. You'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get the quarterback in rhythm. It's basically an extension of your run game. Try to soften up this Shaw defense. Right now, Shaw defense is flying around.
As I mentioned earlier, Amaya had 2 picks so far throughout the season, so definitely rhythm throws early on to help him out. Another one right there. It's actually a pretty nice dot once again to number 82, Justin Oberrice. And Amaya so far, those short passes are helping him get out, and that arm is loose, and he's ready to throw it up.
Yeah, looks like Amaya is starting to settle in on this drive, finding little quick passes to his wide receivers and running backs, and Central State is trying to matriculate down the field.
Amaya right here like it's going to be a free play because of offsides and a jump ball right there. Almost could have been a pick right there for number 27, Jaden Clark of the Shaw Bears. But like we're going to have an encroachment right here, so free play right there for Central State.
It was a free play right there for Central State, so they went up top trying to find Brown. Good defense on Shaw, but offsides on the Bears are going to give 5 yards to the Marauders.
And as you spoke on earlier, DB, the secondary is pretty much the strength for the Shaw Bears. A lot of all CIAA nods, preseason nods for the Shaw Bears, and so far these short passes have sort of been taking that secondary out of the game as they're going to hand it off to Dunlap. He's going to run to the left side. He's going to pick up a gain of about 2 right there, make it about a 2nd and 3 for Central State.
Yeah, James, definitely a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball for Shaw. The secondary is really fast, really stacked in that secondary, but their linebacking core is stout as well with the human GPS, Devin Hunt, number 34.
2nd and 3 right here. Still the split out look for Central State. Drop back, has time to pass. Dunlap had him wide open. Dunlap sort of sitting flat-footed right there in the flats, and Amaya just throws in front of him and trying to hit him on a run, and It's going to leave about a 3rd and 3 right here for Central State.
Yeah, good defense there by the Bears. Good coverage in the secondary. Amaya didn't have anyone to go to, tried to dump it off to the running back. Couldn't complete that pass.
Split out look, trip right once again. 3 receivers out to the right side for Central State. Maya takes a snap, scanning. Quick pass, and it's going to be a 1st down for Maya. So another good throw right there for Maya. Like he hit number 5. That saves Hadibi once again. Floss in the hands, nice possession catching. That's going to move the chains for Central State one more time.
Yes, Hadibi just ran up 4 yards, found a little spot in that zone, sat down and caught that 1st down pass from Amaya.
And right now the Shaw Bears aren't sending too much pressure. Amaya has nice amount of time, nice amount of space to sit back there in the pocket and just go to work and scan. Little pressure right here, and I think he's going to get – oh, he breaks it. But he doesn't have the speed to get away from another Shaw Bear tackler right there. And that's going to be number 44 on the set right there for the Shaw University Bears, which is Mr. James Simon, the junior defensive end. Is able to bring tackle, is able to clean up the mess after Christian Williams is able to initially bring pressure at first. So a 1-2 punch right there on the defensive line, able to come away and make it a 2nd and long for Central State.
Yeah, partner, as soon as you said that the Bears weren't getting a lot of pressure on Amaya, they get a sack for a huge loss as James Simon doesn't give up on the play and creates a 2nd and long situation for Central State.
And if you're Shaw, this is exactly what you want. Great secondary. You want your secondary to play hard right here, be able to come away with something. And that's great defense once again by number 27 for Shaw University. This is Jaden Clark. And it looks like Jaden Clark is actually pretty much going to follow Mr. Delane Brown the second all game, as Delane was lined up on the right side of the field and Clark chased him over there. And I think he doesn't mind going one-on-one so far. 2 wins so far for Mr. Clark.
Yeah, good defense there by Shaw in the secondary. I'm telling you, their secondary is their strength. They have athletes in that secondary. They got speed. They have size. It's going to be tough for Central State to pass the ball today on Shaw.
Referees right there making sure the ball is adjusted for this, dare I say, 3rd down in a country mile right here for Central State. 3 receivers out to the right side once again. Mr. Brown outside on the left on the island by himself. Maya in the shotgun look. He's going to motion over Dunlap to his left-hand side. He's going to snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw it to Brown, but it's tipped at the line by number 44 for the Shaw Bears, and that's James Simon making his presence known early on in this game in 1st quarter. Pass breakup and a sack. James Simon. I don't know about have a day yet, but you're having a quarter so far.
It looked like Central State had a little momentum, picking up some rhythm, driving down the field until James Simon was having nothing of it. Had the sack on this series and the tip pass to force a punt for Central State.
Central State right here, opponent on the other side of the 45. High arcing punt inside the 10, and there's no fair catch actually. We have a sort of a nice return by number 4 right there, Jermaine Russell, the senior wide receiver out of Durham, transfer from Guilford College. Makes a nice return right there for about 10 to 11 yards. And Shaw University is going to be starting, looks like inside their own 30 for their 2nd time with the ball.
Yeah, Jermaine Russell, again, transfer from Guilford College. Went to high school at Southern Durham High School in Durham, where coincidentally, Coach Jones for Shaw was the head coach, not when Russell was there, but that connection with Southern Durham High School brought him to Shaw University.
Referees right there making sure the ball is lined up well, and so if a split wide outlook right here once again for Shaw.
Yeah, feels like Shaw has not had the ball here offensively in this 1st quarter after just 1 play and a touchdown.
Peters dropped back pass, finds a man in the middle of the field. Gain of about 3 to 4 yards right there.
Nice little dump, short pass to the tight end, Elijah Mitchell. Want to get him going offensively. Mitchell, Coach Jones talked about him in the spring, talked about him in fall camp, said that he could be a force this season. Played defensive end last year for Shaw, switching over to the tight end position.
Peters once again going to hand it off one more time. And I'm pretty sure Number 25, Sidney Gibbs. Probably feels a little spoiled right now after getting that first big gain on his first touch. That's going to slow him down, but that's a nice pickup right there to make it more so of a third and manageable for the Shaw Bears.
Yeah, 4-yard pickup looks like for Sid the Kid. Really hurts his average. Averaging an astronomical 50 yards per run so far in this game. Knew he couldn't keep that one up, but it's going to be a 3rd and short after a Marauder is on the field. Could be cramps. Pretty humid day here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Not sure if Central State, coming out of Ohio, is used to this type of weather.
Now, it may get hot in Ohio, but I'm pretty sure this southern heat, this humidity, is a little different, and I really think that's going to pay dividends to the Bears later on in this game, especially if they can run the ball effectively, try to wear down that Central State defensive line and defensive players overall throughout the game. As we have a timeout right here, have a player down for Central State. Certainly a sight that we not hope to see, but it actually looks like he's going to attempt to get up right here. And that's going to be number 5 for Central State, Kalen Abrams. And Kalen Abrams is actually one of our players to watch. Now, he leads the team with 22 tackles, but he also has 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and an INT, an interception so far early on this season. And I'm pretty sure he's working on that all SIAC Defensive Player of the Year so far with the campaign that he's having 2 games into the season. Yeah,
impressive stats for sure for that young man, 2 games into the season. They have a long way to go, James, in the season, but again, 1-1 for Central State, a vast improvement for the Marauders, both offensively and defensively, coming off a win at Lincoln where they knocked off a CIAA opponent. So you know they were confident coming into this ball game today.
Peters right here is going to hand it off once again to Sidney Gibbs. Sidney Gibbs able to make a man miss, and he's going to pick up the first down and move the chains for the Shaw U Bears. And as you were saying, DB, Central State coming off a win last week, and that was actually the first win for head coach Bobby Rome II. Now, Rome joined the team in February 2020, but due to the fact of the COVID-19 pandemic, they were not able to play in the 2020 season. So, again, his first win last week against a CIAA opponent, and he's going to try to make it 2-0 this week on the road against the Bears.
Yeah, initially Rome came during a COVID season, so he had a year to try to get things right in the program.
Sidney Gibbs is going to make a break for it one more time and pick up a first down. We got some laundry on the field from the official back there, and that may be coming back with a helmet on the ground. And we have one more player down for Central State, number 11. It's going to be Khalid Wahizi, the junior linebacker from actually L.A., Hollywood, California.
We're again talking about head coach Bobby Rome for Central State. Came over from UVA Lynchburg, where he turned that program around. Came over to Central State, wanted to do the same in Wilberforce, Ohio, and got a slow start to his career at Central State. Were not able to play during COVID season of 2020. Lost at Kentucky State on their first game, but got a big win against a CIAA opponent in Lincoln. So they were confident coming into this ball game. Punched in the mouth off that Sidney Gibbs touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage for Shaw, but they're trying to settle into this contest and make it a game today in Raleigh.
And a big part of that defense that they're going to have to rely on today is going to be number 19, Jamal Holloway. Now, Jamal Holloway has been doing his thing so far for Central State. Now, he's a transfer out of UNLV, but in 2 games so far for Central State, he has 2 forced fumbles and 19 tackles to go along with 3 sacks. Defensive lineman 6'3", 245, and he is an absolute unit for the Central State defense. And they're going to have to rely on him throughout this game on the road.
Yeah, definitely, because offensively, Shaw, at heart, they want to run the football. They're going to put the ball in the air as well, but if they get that running game going, you know the old saying, don't change anything that's not broken. So if Shaw is able to pick up yards on the ground, they're going to keep pounding that rock. And Sidney Gibbs is a workhorse type running back. Even though he's only 5'9", 190, listed at 5'9", 190, they're going to continue to feed him that football.
So they're going to give us a break here. They're going to put in Andre Brandon Jr. at running back, who is a sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland. Split out. He's going to fake the handoff to him. He's going to throw out wide. And they're actually going to have a broken tackle, and it's going to pick up nice yardage. They're able to toe tap against the sideline, picks up a gain of about 6. That's John Barnes, who has also 1 receiving touchdown so far in the season.
Yeah, John Barnes able to break a tackle and pick up pretty much all of the penalty yardage, or at least a lot of the penalty yardage back, going to make it a second and about 16.
So Christian Peters so far, the redshirt freshman quarterback, pretty poised, sitting in the pocket, making his reads. And this is going to be an interesting call right here. We have some movement by both teams.
Yeah, interesting. Looks like Shaw saying that it's going to be offside. Central State saying it's going to be motion. Let's see what the officials say. Looks like they're going to wait for the officials. It's going to be offsides on Central State. So looks like it's going to be second down and, no harm, no foul for Shaw. Maybe lose about a yard, on the sticks and make it a second and manageable. You got 2 plays to pick up a first down.
Yeah, and this opens a lot more plays up for that Shaw Bears offense. They're going to hand it off right there to Andre, but he has absolutely nowhere to go. A host of Central State Marauders right there to make the tackle behind the line. And as soon as she spoke on no harm, no foul, they lose a couple more yards, and it's going to be about a third down and about 14 for Shaw University right here.
This drive is not going the way that Coach Jones and the Bears would like it. Want to get that run game going. It started on the first play of scrimmage with Sidney Gibbs with that long touchdown run, but on this drive you had penalties. You've had some lost yardage on a couple of plays, so big third down here for the defense of Central State.
Split out wide, look again. He's going to send a man in motion. Peter's going to take the snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to drop back to look. Has a little time. He's going to scramble. Has a man downfield, wide open. He's going to actually make a man miss. Still breaking tackles. And he's still up on his feet. Forward motion stop. That's number 13, Ashawn Belcher. Now, he is the leading receiver so far for Shaw University. And right there, you can see why he's able to sit right there in that zone, find an open space, and is able to get a first down. Peter's able to roll out, buy himself some time, and hit Belcher down the road. And they're going to go no tempo right here before the chains can even set up and get another play off. Going to hand it to Andre once again. He's going to lower the boom and pick up another first down. So once, DB, we thought this drive was coming to an end, and here we are inside the 20. Red zone situation for the Shaw U Bears.
On that previous play, Peters, not a lot downfield initially, but he used his mobility to create an opportunity for a wide receiver. When you have a scramble drill as a wide receiver, you make a play. You go with your quarterback, able to find Belcher. Belcher does the rest, picks up that first down, and the Bears are on the move.
And we're going to have a quick timeout right here as Central State is going to try to gather themselves and make themselves a red zone stop. This is Shaw Bears Network.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Saturday college football showcase right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shaw University Bears taking on the Central State Marauders right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, Shaw is on the brink of trying to put another 7 points up on the board right here inside the red zone on a drive that almost seemed to come to a halt about a minute and a half ago, and now here they are looking to almost put one more into the end zone, DB.
Yeah, like you said, a minute and a half ago, Bears looking at a 2nd and 18 situation, then looking at a 3rd and about 15. Peters able to find Belcher to pick up that first down and add in another huge run in the run game by Andre Brandon Jr. Now Shaw's in business.
Peters right there. He's going to hand it off one time to Andre. Andre is able to find a hole amongst all the commotion and pick up a gain of about 4 or 5 right there. So Andre, who's come in for Sidney Gibbs, hasn't missed a beat since he's been placed in. Is able to find a hole, make himself small, and pick up some yards behind that big offensive line for Shaw University.
It's good to see Andre Brandon Jr. getting some carries. Sidney Gibbs is usually the workhorse, but Shaw doesn't want to overwork him. It's a long season. We're at the beginning of the season. They have 2 really good running backs in Brandon Jr. and Sidney Gibbs, both sophomores.
Peters once again is going to RPO it, and they're going to have a touchdown one more time. Peters throws it to Ashawn Belcher, and we have another Shaw U Bears touchdown right here in Raleigh. And Christian Peters delivers a dime, able to find the window, and Belcher, big target right there sitting in the middle field, hard to miss him, and Christian Peters gets it to him once again, and Shaw U is going to go up, try to make it 14-0 so far within this early on in this first quarter.
Yeah, beautiful RPO action there as Ashawn Belcher pops open. It's kind of a seam route, but not so much a seam, but that RPO is just so hard to defend if you're a defense. Peters to Belcher for another 7 points. Shaw U.
Yeah, and that RPO offense is definitely going to help out Shaw U. It's a lot of ball hawks on that Central State team, and that RPO sort of freezes the defensive backs and linebackers a little bit, faking the run and just buying the receivers just enough time to get upfield and able to get in between that zone. So Coach Jones, he has to be pleased with this start so far, especially with his team dropping 2 early games early in the season. And right now they're holding down the fort, 14-0 with about 4 minutes left to go in this first quarter.
Excellent start for the Shaw Bears, able to come up with 2 stops defensively, able to come up with 2 touchdowns on their first 2 drives. And more importantly, I'm about all 3 aspects of football. The special teams unit, 2 extra points that are good by Devin Vistirjan, and he missed an extra point, had it blocked rather, in that Davidson game. Shaw had to go for 2 later in that game. That proved to be the difference. You know, Devin has to feel good knocking in his first 2 extra points.
While we're speaking on aspects of football, let's please not forget these fans and the band life we got going on right here. And the first home game of the season for Shaw. And these fans, the cheerleaders, the band, everybody who's in attendance here, they are feeling the energy, and best believe me, when it's 14-0 your way, it's a lot easier to cheer on your team and have that high energy to get ready for a kickoff right here to get the ball back to Central State.
Yeah, when you got the lead, it's a lot easier to be happy if you're a fan.
Central State's right here is going to take it. It's able to find a seam, and a touchdown saving tackle right there by number 9 for Shaw Bears. That's going to be John Barnes right there saving a touchdown. What should have been from number 9, Jawan Jones. Kick returner right there is going to get it to the other side of the 50. The Central State is going to have some good field position to start their 3rd drive of the game.
Seam was hit by that return man for Central State. Found a good lane, almost took it to the house, if not for a wide receiver making a tackle on special teams. Good tackle there by John Barnes. Great field position to start this drive off by Central State. Let's see if they can take advantage of that, because right now they find themselves down in a 14-0 hole. You got to come up with some type of points. Get a touchdown, get in field goal range, do something offensively to get that pressure off of your defense.
And we have another player down for Central State. Can't exactly realize what number it is or what exactly happened, but a player down for Central State. So we're going to take a quick break. Shaw University Bears at home against Central State Marauders. This is Shaw Bears Network.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Saturday college football showcase right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shaw University Bears at home taking on the Central State Marauders, as we have number 50 for Central State, Jordan Benjamin, offensive lineman, who is on the kick return right there. He's walking off the field under his own power, a sight we love to see, sort of grabbing at his groin. It's going to be something to look for throughout the game, as Central State is able to take the ball on the, actually in Shaw territory on the other side of the 50, and hopefully looking to point some points on the board, if it's nothing but 3 points, and get that goose egg off the board as Amaya goes back in the shotgun look for Central State. Amaya's going to take a look to the sideline right here. Potentially changing the play at the line. Shaw University Bears playing pretty off for the receivers. Amaya takes it, has a man out open. And what should have been probably about a 9-yard gain is going to end up being an 8-yard gain. And Amaya is going to throw it to his favorite target so far, Mr. Sage Sidibe. He has about 3 catches so far throughout the game, and just those little routes, picking up a nice gain of about 6, a nice gain of about 5 right there for Central State. It's going to help them keep moving the ball up and down this field.
Jaden Clark in on that tackle. Freshman out of Fairburn, Georgia, coming up, subbing for his defensive back position.
Maya drops back to pass. And it's going to be another catch right there. Sage Sidibe has another first down for Central State.
It looks like Central State is going to pick on the freshman, Anthony Carter, had been playing that boundary cornerback position. He's on the sideline right now, bringing in the freshman to get some reps, and Central State is trying to pick on him.
So Central State staying in that wide out look, shotgun look. Maya drops back to pass. It's going to dump it off right there, and it's going to be Dunlap. He's going to pick up a gain of about 3 or 4 right there on a first down, make it about a 2nd and 6 for Central State.
See, Central State afforded excellent field position to start the drive. No pressure, being backed up on their own side of the field. The playbook is totally wide open, trying to matriculate down the field, trying to get themselves back into this ball game late in the first quarter.
Maya once again takes the snap, going to roll out to his left, and that's going to be a pick, ladies and gentlemen. Shaw University Bears force a turnover, and that's number 29 for the Shaw University Bears, Deshaun Wallace. The big defensive back right there, 6'1" stature, goes up and gets someone. Not exactly sure what Amaya was looking at right there, but I'm pretty sure Deshaun Wallace has no problem taking that back to the Shaw University sideline.
Preseason CIAA defensive back Deshaun Wallace baited Amaya right there, dropped into the zone late after Amaya had already committed to throw the pass. Easy interception for Wallace. Another opportunity for Shaw now, already up 14-0 to really put a foot on the proverbial throat of Central State.
And I talked to Coach Jones before the game. He said that was a point of emphasis for the Shaw Bears. Make sure that they were forcing turnovers, playing sharp, playing smart on defense, especially knowing the problems, the woes Central State has been having at the quarterback position lately. As Christian Peters, the redshirt freshman, goes back at quarterback, going to drop back the pass, going to throw a bullet, and that's a
Excellent tackle in the open field by Powell. Hard to bring down Sidney Gibbs with one defender. Powell able to do it on that play.
So here we are right here. Appears to be a 2nd and long for the Shaw University Bears. Staying in sort of this shotgun look. Keeping Christian Peters out there about 5 yards from center so he can see everything, have his eye on everything. And we have an early whistle right here on the field.
The referee called the play dead. Peters went down to get the ball. Referee saying that his knee hit the turf, so called him down. Not a good-looking drive here offensively for Shaw.
Sort of a bit of confusion right there because it seems that quarterback Christian Peters had actually pulled the ball out on that option play. So not exactly sure. Sort of a inadvertent whistle right there on that play as we have the line judge is going to come in and have a conversation with the umpire.
This is what you want to see. Officials talking things over, getting it right. That's the thing that you want to do. You want to get it right. And they may overturn this. I don't know if it's going to be no harm, no foul, replay second down. Referees are talking it over.
Yeah, as you mentioned, DB, this is what you love to see as a coach, as a player, as a fan. Officials taking the time to get it right. And we're actually going to have the ball readjusted right here on this third down and long for the Shaw Bears.
Yeah, it's going to be third and a lot for Shaw on this play.
So resetting my shot is a different
He just takes the snap. He's going to drop back. It's going to be some pressure. Going to get it out to Gibson. Gibson has a couple blockers in front of him. Able to make a couple guys miss, but he's not going to get nowhere near the first down mark. It's going to be about a 4th and 10 for the Shaw Bears, since we're going to see the punt unit come out to the field for the Bears.
Yeah, good play call there by Shaw to run that screen. As you know, Central State wanted to get some pressure on the quarterback on a third and long. Gibbs able to pick up a chunk of yardage, not able to get that first down, but it gives your punter an opportunity to not punt with his foot on the end zone. Try to get a good punt off and flip the field here for Shaw.
Shaw's getting ready to punt off here. That's going to be Carlton Bird Jr. And he's going to have to hold that punt right there until the second quarter. Shaw University Bears, so far so good. First home game of the season, up 2 touchdowns, 14-0 over the Central State Marauders right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. James Williams with Mr. Damian D.B. Banks. Shaw University Bears trying to hold it down. This is Shaw Bears Network. Shaw Bears Network Saturday Football Showcase. James Tank Williams with Damian D.B. Banks right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Right now, Shaw Bears have just flipped the field, but Central State is looking to flip the script so far in this second quarter. 14-0. The Bears are up and about, moving and grooving so far in that first quarter. Able to go up 2 touchdowns as they get ready to punt it off right here back to the Marauders.
Shaw did not have the success on that drive that they would like to, but at least their punter has a little bit of space to get this one off. They're going to try to flip the field with a good punt. Shaw's been playing really well defensively. Let's hope that they can keep that up here in the second quarter.
We have Mr. Bird back there, punter and kicker. They put a nice boot on that one. Moody punt returning back. Oh, man, baby, this is a dime if I ever seen one inside the 10. And the Bird is pumped up, and he's getting the rest of this Shaw team pumped up. And if your punter ever has a special handshake, best believe me, there's a lot of swag on the Shaw Bears University team. And that has to get your defense riled up to see your punter. And he's probably about 140 pounds soaking wet, turned up on the field. And this Shaw Bears is going to have some defensive time. He's going to have a lot of defensive room to work with right here, keeping the Marauders inside their own 10.
Yeah, what a punt there by Shaw University. If that's what you call flipping the field, and defensively, you got to love it. You got an opportunity to pin them deep, get off the field, get the offense back on the field. Let's see what Shaw does here defensively after that last possession.
Especially James Simon. He's already knocked on a sack today. Let's see if he can get one more right here with the field flip. And I don't think that's Mr. Simon, but boy, somebody came out there like they were shot out of a cannon.
You know who it is, the human GPS.
Devon Hunt. Now, he missed the first game of the season, but he leads this team with 16 tackles, only playing in one game. And right there, he was on a hunt himself, nose for the ball, and he blows that play up before it even gets started.
Get used to that name, former CIAA Defensive Player of the Year, missed all of 2019, most of 2019 with a shoulder injury. Shaw didn't play in 2020, so he's been ready to get on the field since 2018. So you know Devin Hunt is ready to go.
All right, we have some movement pre-snap right there, moving on both sides once again. And the Shaw University, they're clapping their hands, and like the Marauders are going to be moved back just a little bit. Now, that's never a good sign, but the one good thing about being pinned on your own goal line is if you get a penalty like that, it's not but so far you can go back. So quarterback Amaya is going to be in his own end zone. So he's going to try to play with no pressure right here, but lots of pressure right here to not give up 2 points and a potential safety. They're going to hand the ball off, and they're going to get nowhere. Big 52 for the Shaw Bears. Mr. Salion Gibbs, the freshman defensive tackle, making a big stop right there on second down for the Shaw Bears.
Savion Gibbs loved visiting his older brother so much here at Shaw University. He said, hey, I'll make that trip down to Raleigh as well. He's the brother of the running back for Shaw University, Sidney Gibbs, and he's a big-time player on the defensive side.
Yeah, not so little big bro right there for the Gibbs family. Devon Hunt right there is a little anxious. He's able to stop himself before crossing the ball. Amaya's looking to the sideline, about 9 seconds left on the play clock. Making some changes. Amaya's in his own end zone. Gonna have to probably avoid some pressure right here. He's gonna hand it off. The ball actually hits the ground. Central State's better get on top of it. And that's a break if I ever seen one right there for Central State, because things could have gotten a lot uglier with the pigskin on the ground like that, especially inside their own 5-yard line.
Central State has made this trip here to Raleigh from Wilberforce. Right now, they would like to be back in Wilberforce. Things are not going their way, but it's a long ball game. Right now, Shaw's playing great defensively. And let's see what they can do here on this punt return. Usually you see a punter trying to get it off quickly so he won't get it blocked.
And that's Jose Chavez right there, is able to put one in the air. Probably not as far as he would like to, but. And number 4 for the Bears is actually going to pick it up. He's going to try to make it guys miss. Sort of a risky play right there, but it pays off. Jermaine Russell is able to pick up a gain of about 7 yards. And I don't know if Coach Jones advises that or not, but a risky play right there for Russell. Things going bad right there. If he kicks it, anything, if he just touches it, Central State has a chance to get the ball back. And he might get chewed out for that one when he gets back to that Shaw Bear sideline.
Yeah, Russell picked that one up on the fly, tried to make it a 20-yard touchdown punt return, but as they say, scared money don't make money. So, you know, you take risks and you hope that you succeed, and Russell taking a huge risk trying to touch that ball, but he made it work for him, got a couple yards there on the punt return.
I guess Russell thinks he's playing with house money so far, up 14-0 on Central State, but it's actually going to be a holding right there anyway. Can't tell if the holder was against, I believe it was against the Bears right there, against the receiving team. That's also something that comes with picking the ball up like that on the fly. Your blockers can't necessarily find anyone to block. So they're going to pick up the closest guy near them and try to lay any kind of block on them. And sometimes that ends up with a holding penalty, as we've seen right there.
You got a really good return on it, so maybe no harm, no foul. They probably will get the ball with the ball touchdown for the punt. It's like about 24-yard line.
So Shaw's been driving the ball down the field pretty much all game, and now they sort of have a gift of fortune right here, being able to start inside Central State's own 25. And they actually have a new running back in the game. First time we've seen him today, Mr. Jelante Fields, another sophomore running back. And these running backs so far for Shaw University have been putting the pedal to the metal. And Peters right there is going to keep, is going to reverse field, and he doesn't have anywhere to go. Central State not fooled by Peters' ability to try to turn the field, turn the corner. Host of Central State Riders right there are going to make a tackle. Going to be led by number 53 of Central State, Justice Merritt, the 6'1" freshman from Virginia Beach.
The Marauders have been studying their game film. They know that Peters is an athletic, mobile quarterback, has the opportunity to pull it down. Defensively, they were ready for that one. Big loss, though, for Shaw University.
Split wide out look once again. Peters going to drop back the pass. On it. Woo! Hello and welcome to football season once again in Raleigh, North Carolina. That should get you pumped up if you're on that Central State sideline. It's number 10, Joe White right there, laying wood on that pass right there. And I'm pretty sure number 28, Jaytwan Fields is going to tell Mr. Peters, hey, you got me out there like that once again. Can you try to get me the ball just a little bit earlier to avoid big hits like that?
Good defense there by Central State. White, Johnny on the spot, making that tackle. Peters didn't have anywhere to go down the field. Found his running back leaking out of the backfield. Not much on that pass play.
Peters once again is going to hand it off the field. Peters actually going to keep it himself. Quarterback lead right there, picks up a few yards.
And Shaw's going to incorporate that more into their offense with Christian Peters. He's more of a mobile quarterback. Torian Campbell was the quarterback in the first game versus Wingate. Got off to a rough start. He was replaced by Peters in that game. Peters played pretty well against Wingate in that second half. He was rewarded with that effort with a start, his first career start versus Davidson. Played outstanding versus Davidson. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So Peters, Christian Peters, he is the quarterback. He is a mobile quarterback when you see it on this play.
And Peters right there had a man open, but Fields just cannot bring it in. That was actually a 4th down attempt by Coach Jones. And I think that's a pretty reasonable attempt right there on a 4th down. You have pretty strong defensive play so far. You're inside the opponent's 20. I think Coach Jones right there, he sees that opportunity as a chance to put more points on the board and take some more time over this Central State offense. If they turn the ball over on downs to Central State, going to have to start in still pretty rough field condition inside their own 20.
Missed opportunity there for Shaw. Got the ball in great field position. Could not do anything with it offensively. Remember that series for Shaw. If Central State is able to put a drive together and try to get some momentum back on that side, remember that series.
Bunch look right there, and Amaya has a man open. Just doesn't put enough mustard on it right there. Intended receiver was number 1, Delane Brown, the second. Pretty open right there. Amaya just sort of short strokes the ball right there. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 for Central State. And as you were bringing up, DB, this game gets close. Coach Jones may look back and say, hey, I probably should have tried to take those 3 early on in the second quarter if this game does happen to get closer down the stretch.
Shaw has yet to attempt a field goal on the season there. Field goal kicker is a freshman. Has made both of his extra points, but have yet to attempt a field goal this year.
Ryan flips around. He's going to actually throw it to a man. And that is going to be number 5, once again, Saeed Sadibi. And he has been a hot target so far throughout this game. Over 5 catches so far for number 5. And he's been sort of getting to the middle of that zone, sort of getting behind those linebackers, just making good catches. Not too many yards after the catch, but if he can put his hands on it so far, he can break it in and get a first down for Amaya and the rest of the Central State offense. Amaya's going to hand it off right there to Dunlap. He's able to make a couple guys miss and get it to the other side of 40. Matt's game was about 5 on first down for Central State.
Central State again dodged the bullet after that short field goal. Going for it on 4th down, did the Shaw Bears, did come up with it. Now Central State trying to put a drive together. You get a touchdown here, make it 14-7. You can get a field goal, just some type of momentum to give yourself a good feeling to get back into this ball game.
Mike up at the pass. He throws it out, and it looks like Saeed Sadibi is going to get 1 foot down. I don't know if he gets the other one down, but he only needs to get 1 down. And he makes it a 3rd and about a yard for Central State.
Yeah, right now it looks like Sadibi is the go-to guy at the receiver position for Central State. Big 3rd down.
Mike tries to draw the defense offside, flip to the sideline, and he gets a play. And he's going to drop back the pass. And great play right there by number 21 for Shaw University. That's Mr. Carson, defensive back. They can make a great break on the ball.
Kentio Carson squatting on that short route, knowing it's only 3rd and short, knowing that they're probably going to throw something 5-6 yards down the field, squatted on that, broke on the pass, almost came up with the interception.
Here we are, a 4th and 1 for Central State. trying to draw the defense offside. Now it's like they're going to try to run and play right here.
Risky decision here for Central State. If you don't get this, you give Shaw the ball in excellent field position.
And Amaya is not going to get it. Nowhere close. He tries to go up under the center, took a quick quarterback sneak. But that Shaw Bears defensive front holding strong, holding steady. And I don't even think Amaya gets a half a yard on that play. It's going to be some dirty laundry flag right there on the play. I think this is actually going to be a false start for Central State.
I don't think Central State, first of all, they didn't get the first down. Amaya went absolutely nowhere. Looks like it's going to be a turnover on downs here. Shaw's going to get the ball back offensively.
And that risky play for Coach Jones seems as if it's still paid off. They're actually right here going to get the ball still inside their opponent's territory. And Shaw University so far has been playing strong. Be interesting right here to see which running back they go to come back on this drive right here. Now, so far they've rotated 3 back, and in this hot North Carolina weather, that is what you want to see, being able to keep your backs fresh and be able to constantly work and wear down this Central State defense.
It looks like they're going to go with Fields in that backfield. But again, 3 sophomores. Sidney Gibbs is the well-known name out of that bunch. Had that huge touchdown run in the first quarter to get the scoring started for Shaw. But they got stable running backs here in Rock.
He's just going to take it, sort of a high handoff, going to hand it to Andre, and he's not going to be able to get anywhere. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage by number 41 of Central State. That's going to be Jabari Felton, the freshman who already has 1 sack on the season, and that is another tackle for loss to add to his resume so far.
Looks like Gibbs is going to re-enter this ball game, and Shaw wants to put a score on this board. Close to halftime. Don't give Central State a lot of time to answer. But if you get another score here before the halftime break and you get the ball back for Shaw University after halftime, you've got an opportunity to put the game away early in the second half.
He just takes the snap, fakes it, he's going to run it himself. Going to pick up a gain about 2. Running with a full-headed steam there, but he just runs to a Central State defensive lineman. And it looked like it was number 97, Elijah Slaughter, right there making the tackle to give a 3rd down and 9 to the Bears.
Not a lot of room defensively there for Peters to try to get through that hole. Central State has played their way, trying to play themselves into this ball game. Opportunity for them to give up there in that first quarter, but they're sticking with it. They're trying to get the ball back for their offense.
Now Christian Peters right here is actually going to go empty backfield. Peters right here looking to the sideline, getting some communication with the coach. He's going to make a snap in this empty backfield, roll out to his left. He's going to throw on a run, and he has a receiver. Let's see if he's in bounds. And that is a 1st down for your Shaw Bears. Elliott Dangerfield, the junior, 6'3" junior right there, was able to have his toe-tap Tony performance right there. Keep his feet in bounds and move the chains. Nice throw on the run by Christian Peters, the freshman. Looking like he's had some pretty well-gained experience, looking more so like a sophomore or junior so far early on in this game.
Yeah, excellent reception there by Elliott Dangerfield. Got a lot of size there on that outside. Look for Shaw to maybe throw some lobs to him down the field.
And Gibson right there makes a cut and is able to pick up a 1st down. Now Gibson, who is the most notable back out of this backfield right now, is making strong plays so far. Sidney Gibbs, he is the man in that backfield right now for the Shaw University Bears.
Shaw wants to run the ball. That's their identity. And if they can continue to pound the rock, they're not going to throw that much unless they are just working on some things that absolutely have to. If they get this run game going like they have it going now, you're going to see a lot of for Shaw University.
And right now they're going no tempo, and it is wearing down that Central State defense. And Gibson, whose legs are still fresh, remember they had that 3-back rotation. He is hitting them for chunk after chunk of yardage. He's going to get it one more time and pick up the 1st down.
Again, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. Hand the ball off to your stable of running backs. Right now it's Sidney Gibbs. Gibbs is a tough player to bring down, especially with one defender. Keep picking up these 1st downs. Score get back on defense, you turn those guys over, and you put Central State away if you're Shaw.
And just like that, these Shaw Bears are inside the 10 once again of Central State. He's going to hand it right off there to number 3, and it's going to be close, but I think he might spin in there. And no word yet from the officials. That's number 3, Andre Brandon Jr. right there. And like they're going to keep it right there on the 1.
Yeah, Andre Brandon Jr. smelled that end zone, trying to get in. Referees didn't give it to him. Look for Shaw to run that same play here, try to get into the end zone.
And Mr. Brandon once again line up at running back. And once you know it, he finds pay dirt. And number 3 tacks on 6. That's going to be 20-0 right now for your Shaw University Bears, and they're getting it done by committee on that offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, three running backs who are talented. It's going to be an interesting proposition for the coaching staff this season and who they can split the carries with. You know Sidney Gibbs, you know he's a well-known entity. But you got Andre Brandon Jr. who just scored on that one. You also have Jatwan Fields. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the bulk of the carries this season.
I'm pretty sure that coaching staff is saying, please don't make us pick who we have to give the ball choices to. All 3 of those running backs so far, tough runners, picking up a lot of yards fast too. Also with some power running as they knock through the extra point right there to make it 21-0. Have about a third of this quarter left right here at Raleigh. 21-0 in favor of your Shaw University Bears. Now, DB, what have you seen so far from the Bears that you like early on in this game?
What I've seen so far from Shaw is that they're controlling the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively. Granted, Central State has been able to put together a couple of drives where they've gained some positive yardage, but they have not controlled the line of scrimmage. Shaw's been able to run the ball all afternoon thus far. Defensively for Shaw, they've been able to stop the run game of Central State. You know Central State wants to run the ball, but Shaw's been able to force the Marauders to throw the ball to gain yardage. Right now, that game in the trenches is being won by Shaw University.
Now, DB, I'm a former lineman myself, so I gotta give a shout out to the big boys down there. Those are some grown men for Shaw University, and they are controlling that line of scrimmage. I mean, some of those holes you could probably drive your car through them, DB, and pick up some yards. So right now, Shaw University, like you said, controlling that line of scrimmage, and that so far, in my opinion, has been the difference maker between the Bears and the Marauders. So right now, they're getting ready to kick it off once again to the Marauders. And they got to look to get some type of points right now before they go to half with Shaw University. They're going to get the ball back to start the second half. So on this kickoff, maybe they can get some good field position and change the tide a little bit before half. It's going to be number 9 right there on the return, and he's actually just going to take a knee. That was Juwan Jones on the touchback.
This is a crucial drive for Central State. 5:20 on the clock. Worst case scenario is they don't do anything with this drive, Central State. They punt the ball back to Shaw, give them an opportunity to put even more points on the board before the halftime break. Best case scenario, you drive down the field, you drain the clock, score before the half, and take some momentum into your locker room.
Now, Bobby Rome, I'm pretty sure head coach Bobby Rome II, his worst case scenario is we leave no time on the clock and we take the 0 in the halftime and we build on that. Now, they have had some problems with turnovers so far, so it should be interesting right here to see if Coach Jones try to bring the blitz, bring some pressure on Amaya, and see if they can force one more turnover before halftime and maybe knock on 3 or 7 one more time for the Bears as Amaya takes the pass, pump fakes, throws, and he has a man, but that is one bad ball if I ever seen one. He throws it out of bounds and sort of throws it short to say it's a DB right there. And when Amaya watches film this weekend or Monday, he's going to wish he had that ball back.
Yeah, ball out of bounds, not giving the wide receiver an opportunity to make a play. And again, 5 minutes before the halftime break, Central State, you want to put a drive together here. You got to get some points before halftime. You have to try to take some momentum, and you got to give your team something to play for in the second half. Not saying that they'll give up, but it's going to be hard, not scoring any points here on the road, a long way from home. Shaw playing so well, and at least not forget, the Bears get the ball to start the second half.
And Amaya right there, he throws it to number 82, and that's going to be Justin Oberreis, who's had a pretty decent game so far. probably one incident on that play right there. He gets out of bounds. That's going to stop the clock. It should have stopped the clock once again for Central State. And in Shaw right now, they might get this ball back with about 4 minutes left to go, and that's plenty of time to knock some more points on the scoreboard before halftime. As Amaya looks over, communicates before he snaps the ball.
It's a huge play here for Central State.
Have a flag on the play pre-snap, and that's like that's going to be against Central State right here.
As this breeze slightly blows and makes me feel oh so good up here with my partner, James. Central State is doing exactly the opposite of what Coach Roan wants to do. They've only taken about 40 seconds off of the clock. Third down and long here. You probably don't want to throw it and throw an interception, but you have to throw it to try to pick up a first down. Interesting to see what the play call will be here. You're going to most likely give Shaw an opportunity to get the ball back on the punt.
And penalty right there against the Marauders, so it's going to be about a 3rd and 15. Not too favorable for the Marauders. Meyer drops back the pass. He has a man in the open field. Saves to DB. Going to try and make a couple guys miss, but he's going to be short. And as now it's going to be a 4th down and about 3 for Central State.
A good crossing pattern there to pick up a chunk of yardage there to maybe help out the field position on the punt. So DB stopped just short of that first down. But again, 4 minutes left on the clock. Shaw has all 3 of their timeouts. A lot of time before the half for Shaw to put their drive together to put more points on the board.
Yeah, and you're Shaw right now, you have to be licking your chops on offense thinking, hey, we got a chance to put some more out there. Almost had a block punt right there, could have been. And the ball's going to be down at about the 32 of Shaw University. They're going to have about 3 minutes and 47 seconds left. 3 timeouts left to maybe put some points on that board one more time.
There's a lot of time for Shaw University. You don't have to come out and throw it every down. Just run your 2-minute offense, run your quick offense. You can sprinkle in some run plays with this. You got both your timeouts. And remember, in college football, the clock stops on a first down for the referees to reset the chains. So you have an eternity here on this drive.
And this up-tempo offense so far has been working to the benefit of Shaw. It's been able to keep Central State's defense on the field. Not a lot of substitutions being made for Central State. As Gibson right now has a big hole to run to, and he's going to get to the other side of the 40. He's dragging a couple defenders on his way down there. And Gibson, man, he is eating up so far. And even outside of that, he gets out of bounds and saves some more time for Shaw University. They had to reset the clock, reset the chains right there, as you said. That's going to save a couple seconds.
Yeah, should I repeat on, por favor? Or should I reiterate? You don't have to throw the ball if you're Shaw. You can do what you just did, run the ball, hand it off. You got all your timeouts. You got plenty of time. You can matriculate down the field.
Peters right there, he short strokes that ball right there. Can't tell if anybody got a hand on it. He's going to keep it at about a 2nd and 10 right here for the Shaw Bears.
Yeah, good defense there by Central State. If you're a defensive player, if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up, get a tip pass, who knows, you can get an interception. Good defensive stand there on that play by Central State.
All right, so here we go once again, and Peters hasn't been on the center too much the whole game, if at any. Ball is tipped up, and that's going to be a turnover for the Shaw University Bears. That's number 8 right there, Mr. Keandre Powell, the senior, on a tip drip ball. Just being aware of right place, right time, is able to come up with it after some pressure on the quarterback by number 94, Richard Gaskins, the 6'7" senior. Is able to put some pressure on Peters, and Peters just sort of gets a bad ball out there. And Central State, and what could have gotten pretty ugly for them before half, is actually going to have the ball with a chance to put some points up of their own before halftime.
Yeah, that's one of the cases where I wish I wasn't right. You know, I'm right a lot. Partner, I'm right
Probably,
a lot. I'm right a lot. But that's one of the cases where I wish I wasn't right. If you're a defensive lineman, you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up, tip ball, you never know, you get an interception. That's what happened to Central State.
Well, DB, you're not too right all the time. Amaya right there shows sort of a flick pass to number 3,
My wife thinks I'm right all the time. You know, if your wife thinks you're right, then you're right.
I don't think she's watching this broadcast, is she?
That's my biggest supporter.
Okay,
What
you might have to talk. You might have to have that conversation. Revisit that one when you go home.
That's my biggest supporter. She misses May 1 game. She's texting me right now.
Well, if she's texting you right now, ask her, can she help out Central State real fast to see if they can move the ball and maybe put some points on the board before halftime. We're going to have a flag right here against Shaw University. Oh, excuse me, against Central State. And that's going to move it back, and that does not help their case. Trying to knock some points on the board before halftime. 3 minutes left to go in this second quarter right here. Shaw University trying to hold down the home court. First home game of the season, taking on Central State. Up 21-0 right now with about 3 minutes left to go in this first half.
Yeah, it may sound crazy, but it could be worse than 21-0 if you're Central State. So consider yourself lucky. Again, put a drive together here, possibly put some points on the board. Almost a circus grab there by Central State. But if you can get some points on the board, you can get back into this ball game. But right now, Central State cannot sustain a drive.
CIAC Amaya, number 8 at quarterback right there. Trying to throw it over the middle to Delane Brown, the second. Just can't quite get it to him. Delane Brown almost with a circus act catch, as you said right there, trying to sort of tap it to himself with one hand and make a play out of it. Probably the only positive thing about that play right there is that it stops the clock for Central State, looking about a 3rd down and 15. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in this half.
Big play defensively here, but Shaw come up with a stop, get the ball back to your offense.
Mike Brown's going to move. You see Dunlap to his left. Dunlap's going to go out to the flats. He's going to throw it over to Sage Sidibe once again. Great open field tackle right there by Mr. Devon Hunt. As you like to say, the land shark on this Shaw University defense. Makes a great tackle right there in the open field. It's going to make it about a 4th and 11 right here for Central State.
Yeah, Hunt plays no games on the football field. He's all business. The human GPS, as I like to call him, former CIAA Defensive Player of the Year. He's trying to work his way back into the swing of things. He's missed pretty much the last 2 football seasons, so he's looking for a big super senior campaign.
And it's a sort of a backspin punt right there by Central State, Mr. Jose Carrez, as Shaw University is going to take over with about 2 minutes left to go in this first half. Shaw University Bears at home trying to get their first win of the season, have already dropped 2 games. Both of those games on the road, lost to Wingate to open the season up, and then last week in a game to the very end, 28-26, close loss last week at Davidson. But Coach Adrian Jones thinks that this is the game that can turn this season around. And so far, so true, as they hand it off to Gibson right there. Following big man up the field, number 51 for the Shaw University Bears. Big man taking him up the field, getting him a hole. And that's going to be actually Mr. Antavius Zachary being mobile, getting upfield. And Gibson, he's just following the bus upfield, picking up a nice gain of yard, moving the chains.
Yeah, you call that a dancing bear when you see a lineman there moving those feet like that.
Gibson. Gibson right there. He says, I got a couple dance moves of my own. Sauces past a couple defenders. Only picks up a gain of about 3, but that's going to help their case trying to get into at least field goal range before this second quarter is up.
Yeah, Shaw being methodical here. All 3 of their timeouts left. No hurry. Do you try to go for the jugular, score the touchdown, or get in field goal range and give Devin the Dude, the Steergen, an opportunity to come up with a field goal?
All right, Peter's going to drop back the pass. And it's going to actually be dropped right there. That's number 6, Mr. Elijah Mitchell, who is the converted defensive end to tight end this year. Gets a drop right there. Could have been a gain of about 3 or 4 on second down. It's going to keep Shaw right here at about a 3rd and 8. Minute and 12 left on the clock.
Big play defensively here for Central State. Come up with this stop. Try to stop this drive here for Shaw University.
Peter gets it, drops back the pass. Nice protection. Has a man open in the middle of the field. That's Mr. Bleacher one more time. He's been open all night. Excuse me, Mr. Belcher, Sean Belcher. Those yellow cleats, man, have they been getting some showtime so far in this game? Has a few catches, including a touchdown right so far. Nice little seam route once again. Wouldn't be surprised if they go back to him.
You run these 4 or 5 wide receiver sets. Oftentimes your slot receivers, they're going to be matched up against safeties, and those are mismatches. As Belcher caught that touchdown pass in the first quarter, you see here third and long down the middle of the field against a safety. Belcher able to beat his man one-on-one and pick up that huge first down for Shaw.
So about 52 seconds left to go. Shaw University trying to open up their home stand with a win, up 21-0 over Central State. This is Shaw Bears Network.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Saturday afternoon football showcase, college football showcase. Shaw University Bears trying to hold down the house right here. Their home opener of the season, taking on Central State, trying to knock on a couple more points, hopefully 6 more points in their opinion. 52 seconds left. Peters takes the ball, fakes the handoff, has nowhere to throw it to. He's going to take off running. He has made the man miss, and he's going to take his yard. It's going to be just shy of a first down, if not a first down. And it's going to be and they're going to move the chain, so it's going to be a first and goal for Peters and the rest of this Bears offense. Running clock right here, about 34 seconds left to go before halftime. Peters takes the snap, drops back, pump fake, moves up a little bit, hits another man inside the 5, and we're going to have a timeout right here by Shaw Bears. And right now, if you're Shaw, this is where you want to be. 25 seconds left. I think there's one timeout still left, so still had the ability to run the ball if you want to. And the Shaw Bears, this is where you want to be, DB.
If you're Shaw University, you're thinking touchdown, but you don't want to turn the ball over. You don't want to come up with no points. So if you're quarterback Christian Peters, if it's not there, don't force the ball. You still have that 3-point opportunity in your pocket. You got a timeout left. Make smart decisions with the football.
Now, this offensive line has been in control of that line of scrimmage so far, so I would not be surprised if they ran it. But Mr. Christian Peters so far, a lot of poise at that quarterback position to be a freshman, taking his time, making his read. So I wouldn't be surprised right here if they try to throw it to Belcher one more time on sort of that same slant route that he's been running all game. And it's pretty much just been there. He's already scored off of it once. So I wouldn't be surprised to see either of those plays happen right here with 25 seconds left inside the 5 of Central State.
Well, you got a 6'3" wide receiver in Elliott Dangerfield, and he's split out left to quarterback Christian Peters. So maybe you throw a lob pass, maybe you do an inside run, but you got a timeout left. The playbook is pretty much wide open for Shaw.
Sends a man in motion. He's going to drop back the pass. And that's going to be another touchdown for the Shaw University Bears to Mr. John Barnes with the hands right there. Solid grab. And Shaw, man, you guys look good. And Central State, they probably cannot wait to take it a half at this point. Shaw University goes up 27-0, going to try to make it 28-0 before halftime.
Yeah, Bears send Elliott Dangerfield in motion. Got to honor his height. Looks like Dangerfield ran a slight rub route to free open his teammate John Barnes. Easy pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And that's John Barnes' second receiving touchdown on the year, as Shaw is going to make this game 28-0. About 20 seconds left in this first half. So Shaw Bears right now in pretty strong control in this Southern North Carolina heat, and you have to wonder if that is playing an effect against Central State. You look over to their sidelines, a couple of heads down, a couple of guys sort of look like they're gasping for air on that Central State sideline.
Well, the weather in Ohio, I can guarantee you, is not as humid as it is here in Raleigh, North Carolina. So may not be used to these type of conditions, but if you're down 28-0, that could, help with the fact that you're not in the ball game. But you got halftime, you could go and readjust things. You got an uphill battle to even get back into this ball game. Not only are you down 28-0, if Shaw gets the ball to start the second half, it could potentially be 31 or 35-0 if you don't bow your backs and come up with a defensive stop if you're Central State.
So Shaw University right now hanging cool in the heat, and I'm pretty sure that heat doesn't feel as bad to them right now while they're up 28-0 heading into halftime. So it seems so far. About 21 seconds left to go And Central State right now is going to receive. And they have to try to get a big play right here or just be happy with the effort that they've been having so far and taking it in the halftime and make some adjustments. Kickoff right here. Shaw, by that boot right there for Shaw, and that's going to be a touchback. Number 38 right there, Carlton Bird Jr., the sophomore out of Burlington, New Jersey. Been booting it so far for kickoffs, and that's also been helping Shaw University sort of keep Central State at bay when it comes to the field position battle.
He's a good punter as well as good kickoff man. Doesn't do the field goals and extra points. Leave that up to Devin the Dude to do that, but special teams will play a factor in football games, and if you got a solid special teams unit, then you can win some ball games.
So Central State feels like they're going to go out to that shotgun look, as we're going to have the game clock adjusted right there to 20 seconds flat for Central State. So 20 seconds left, actually 3 timeouts left for Central State according to the scoreboard.
You don't want to make a mistake here offensively if you're Central State. You know, taking a knee here wouldn't be the worst thing to do, but you don't want to give up with 20 seconds to go before the half. They may try to put this ball in the air and maybe just turn around and hand it off. Could be disaster here offensively.
So Bobby Rome's going to hand it off right there to Mr. Dunlap. Dunlap makes a couple guys miss. Oh, man. Dunlap, and he's going to just run out of bounds. Dunlap right there, flexing the IQ as well as the speed, is able to hit a hole. And that is a smart play by Dunlap. That is a very football-savvy play, being able to save roughly 11 seconds, getting out of bounds on the other side of the 40. Bobby Rome, as well as the rest of the coaching staff over there by Central State, sort of catches Salt Bears off guard right there on that running play. And now here we are, Amaya, with 3 times out left. He might have a chance to actually put some points on the board. He's going to drop back the pass, forced up in the pocket, and that does not help your case. Big 88 right there for the Shaw University Bears. He's going to get a sack. It's Mr. Javari Burgess, senior defensive lineman right there, with a big-time sack on first down.
Yeah, second tackle for loss, first sack of the game for Burgess. Had a big play there in that first quarter for Shaw. And on that run by DeMonte Dunlap, smart play by a freshman. Getting a big chunk of yardage on that run, looking back at the clock and running out of bounds to preserve some time. Now you got 3 seconds left. If you're Central State, you're probably just going to try to Hail Mary this one into the end zone and hope that our God up above answers your prayers and one of your players come down with the football.
Yeah, she spoke on Dunlap right there. Now, he's a freshman. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but that is a next-level play. That is the type of play that'll get you noticed and get you to play, potentially on Sundays, making a football IQ, football-savvy play such as that. Now, 5 seconds left. Probably going to see one last heave to the end zone, as you were saying, DB, by Central State right here. And maybe, I don't know, DB, I think in my opinion right here, I might just try to take a knee right here and take it into halftime. I don't know.
Scared money don't make money, partner. You got a 6'3" receiver in Brown. Just heave it up. Hopefully comes down with the ball for a touchdown. They're going to try something. You're down 28-0. What's the worst can happen?
Hey, I don't know. What is Shaw's strong suit on defense?
It's the secondary.
Okay.
But you gotta play to win.
They actually have a substitute at quarterback right there. That's number 12. That's Torrin Campbell. Torrin Campbell, who's been one of the featured quarterbacks so far for Central State this season. The redshirt junior, 6'2", out of Toledo, Ohio. Oh, excuse me, it's Tariq Henderson right there. And he's going to actually come in. He's had a couple snaps so far throughout this season. So they're probably one more time going to have time for one more shot, so it seems. And he's going to drop back the pass, roll out. He takes hit, but he throws it up. It's going to be well short of the end zone. Can't exactly see who comes down with it, but it's not going to make too much of a difference. And that's going to do it. We're going to head into halftime right here. Your Shaw University Bears up 4 touchdowns, up 28-0 over the Central State Marauders. And DB, if you're for Central State, you're Bobby Rome, what exactly are you telling your Marauders going into halftime?
If you're head coach Bobby Rome, you say, hey, the second half's over, the first half's over. Tough half for us, but have some pride. have some pride in Central State, have some pride in your teammates, come out and play a strong second half. We can't do anything about the first. It's over and done with. It's how you finish the game is what matters.
Now, if you're Coach Jones for Shaw University, I suggest you just tell them to keep the energy up.
Yeah, just keep it on repeat. Control the line of scrimmage, run the football, make plays both offensively and defensively. You get the ball to start this third quarter, you put them points on the board, and you can pretty much take the will away from Central State.
Now, as we head into halftime, make sure you don't go anywhere. Now, if you love good HBCU football, then you just have to love the great sounds of HBCU bands. So sit tight and keep your eyes open and your ears open even wider. This is Shaw Bears Network.
Invincible, incapable of being conquered, overcome, subdued, ready, focused. Raleigh, North Carolina, introducing to some and presenting to others, the Invincible Marching Marauders. Shaw University. In the words of Lil Uzi, we want to talk about, we want to roll your head. You know how you know how to you know how. Then we promise you, we'll set this show off. Set this show off. Set this show off. Introducing Trumpet, George, Lightning, Benson, Incumbent, Kevin, Hogan, Cole.
Leadership community, serving over 3,000 student athletes hailing from historically black colleges and universities. We are the CIAA, established in 1912, the first African-American collegiate conference in the U.S., the third highest ranked NCAA basketball tournament in the nation. It's more than a game. Each year we raise over $1.5 million to support our athletes and impact our communities. That's the CIAA tradition. Come live the legacy.
You're watching Our America, the HBCU experience. I'm Tim Pulliam. Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina celebrates more than 155 years of black excellence. It is home to many firsts. It is the first and oldest historically black university in the South. Shaw's rich legacy began with faith.
We've come this far by faith.
Inside Shaw University's chapel, a song of praise symbolizing the humble beginnings of this Baptist institution, founded just after the end of the Civil War in 1865.
Henry Martin Tupper was a former Civil War chaplain who came down to establish the university.
One of the things that we know about him is that he made a promise to God that if he survived, he would spend the rest of his life educating free men. And so he did.
To help educate newly freed enslaved Africans on how to interpret the Bible, and to serve their communities through faith.
Historians say back then, most Southern whites did not appreciate Tupper's vision in educating freed black slaves. So he relied on financial support from Northern allies. One major benefactor was Elijah Shaw, a wealthy textile merchant, donating $5,000. The university named in his honor. Educators say Shaw's first students also contributed money and even helped build its first classroom, a log cabin. By 1866, approximately 350 students enrolled.
Black people were helping themselves to be educated. It wasn't just sitting back passively and allowing the white benefactor, rescuer to come in.
Financial support and growth led to the creation of a law school, pharmacy school, and Leonard School of Medicine, the first four-year curriculum medical school in the nation. Tupper and his wife Sarah wanted women and men to be educated together. SD Hall became the first building in the nation to house and educate black women. It's still standing today.
You can't think of Shaw and not think of Ella Baker.
Ella Baker, a valedictorian and 1927 graduate of Shaw University, was also an outspoken critic of Jim Crow laws that disenfranchised blacks. In 1960, she established SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee on Shaw's campus. During that time, Dr. Martin Luther King visited Raleigh, meeting with Baker and the young members of the social justice group. SNCC's activism expanded across the South, organizing the sit-in movements and participating in the 1963 March on Washington. Dr. David Forbes, a 1962 graduate of Shaw, is one of the original members of SNCC under Baker's leadership.
No SNCC, no Civil Rights Act, no Voting Rights Act, no Obama. It's just as clear as anything. So what we did as young college students was revolutionary in changing the condition of things in this nation.
Every time I look at the mural of her that is on Blunt Street, and what it represents to me is strength and determination and resiliency. Because what she was fighting for, justice, is something that is ongoing, as we can see today.
Through it all, ooh, I've learned to trust in Jesus, and I've learned to trust in God.
Grammy award-winning gospel singer Shirley Caesar is another notable alum. In 1984, she graduated from Shaw University with a degree in business. Caesar, who was in her mid-40s at the time, says she put college on hold after high school to financially take care of her family as her music career skyrocketed. Shaw gave her a full scholarship.
I was privileged to be able to go back to school, stayed there until I got my degree, and was able to even give back financially.
According to the United Negro College Fund, North Carolina historically black colleges and universities generate $1.7 billion in total economic impact. And a North Carolina HBCU graduate working full-time over the course of their career can expect to earn $1 million in extra income, which is why HBCUs depend on alumni giving during homecoming.
It is a big family reunion. It is the best way to put it. It is a family reunion. Auntie's frying the fish. Somebody has, the music is going. There's the line dancing. There's something going on every corner of the campus, and people are just coming back, getting together.
Coronation ushers in homecoming. This ceremony is the official crowning of Shaw University's Royal Court. They serve as role models for the students, serving the community as school ambassadors.
Our current queen is elegant, intelligent, beautiful inside and outside, and she represents the university very well.
This year's queen is President Scholar, senior business major Beyonce Wilburn from California, also known as Queen Bee.
It hits me a little differently now. It's a lot of responsibility, but it's allowed me to, use myself as an asset and as a tool to other students. And I tell that to students all the time, like, you don't have to switch up who you are just because you're wearing a crown. You're a queen without it.
And then there's Mr. Shaw University.
He is awesome, y'all. Like, Jerome is just awesome. Jerome Boyce is the epitome of a young black man on an HBCU campus.
Jerome Boyce is a senior computer science major from Barbados and is Shaw's 4th University King. He chose the HBCU experience after receiving encouragement from a relative. For Jerome, HBCUs are about staying connected to black culture and its diverse representation.
What does that say to you internally?
Oh, it says to me definitely that I can achieve, that there are people who have gone before me, and they are not only have they achieved, but they're willing to help me out as well. And that really helps me as a young black man.
I'm just glad to serve the university that's given me so much.
Shaw University helped Andre King fine-tune his life's purpose. The 2008 graduate received a scholarship to play for the university's band when he desperately needed financial support. A couple of years ago, Shaw recruited him to return as faculty and the director of the Platinum Sound Marching Band.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Hey, turn up! Turn up! And the way that we approach music at Shaw with a very funk and neo-soul type feel.
It's fun. The moves are fun. I love doing it in the stands. I love doing it on the field. I love doing it on the yard. It's just awesome.
In September 2020, Kamala Harris, then vice presidential nominee and fellow HBCU graduate, campaigned on Shaw's campus while bopping to the drumline's beat.
Watching her clap and dance and really get into it was really pretty cool to watch.
And so is stepping, a rhythmic dance with origins in South Africa. Its modern-day roots in America began in the early 1900s when black Greek letter fraternities and sororities, known as the Divine Nine, made the call and response movements popular.
An extra little heartbeat on the campus, and then when you throw it in a homecoming and you have the step shows, people come back who've graduated from years and they want to talk about, I did that.
The remains of Henry Martin Tupper and his wife Sarah rest in the Memorial Gardens at Shaw. New students and those graduating traditionally ring the bell in honor of their founders' commitment to Shaw.
You get a full circle. You get to come in and announce your presence here at Shaw University, and then you get to say goodbye while ringing the bell. And so our first president is, he's still actively involved in all of the education of students. So he's fulfilling his promise to God even after his death.
Shaw University is known as Mother Shaw because of its influence on North Carolina's HBCUs. The founder of North Carolina Central University and the first presidents of Elizabeth City State and North Carolina A&T universities were Shaw graduates. The third president of Fayetteville State University was also a Shaw grad.
When you step foot on Shaw University's campus and then you learn the history afterwards, it's like you look at your feet like wow, this is holy ground almost, you know what I mean? I would definitely say Shaw University has built me to the man I'm becoming and the man I am.
Student body president Ian Finley credits his HBCU experience at Shaw for preparing him to attend law school next fall. He's been accepted to 8 schools. Shaw no longer has a law school. Lack of funding during the Jim Crow era also led to the closures of Leonard School of Medicine and the School of Pharmacy. Currently, there's no effort to revive those professional schools. Instead, Shaw's new vision is launching a life sciences program for staff and students.
Laying the foundation for students to learn how to do research, learn how to apply a creative solution to some of our medical problems, and then launch them off into existing medical schools.
Today, Shaw's 26-acre campus boasts 24 academic programs and a 15-to-1 student-faculty ratio. Its flagship program is their accredited divinity school.
I really truly believe, and I really believe this from the bottom of my heart, that HBCUs and the Black church have been essential to helping to save the soul of this nation.
Dr. Johnny Hill, Dean of the Divinity School, continuing Shaw's legacy of activism. He and students often on the front lines with the NAACP fighting for today's civil and human rights.
It is about pro Christo humanitate, for Christ and humanity. That is our motto that has stood at the center of what we do in terms of educating students and having an impact in the broader community.
How great is our God?
Powered by one of Shaw University's founding principles, faith. This is Our America, the HBCU experience. Thank you for watching. I'm Tim Pulliam.
There's even more content like this in the Black History Month section.
Tradition, leadership, community, serving over 3,000 student athletes hailing from historically black colleges and universities. We are the CIAA, established in 1912, the first African-American collegiate conference in the U.S., the third highest ranked NCAA basketball tournament in the nation. It's more than a game. Each year we raise over $1.5 million to support our athletes and impact our communities. That's the CIAA tradition. Come live the legacy.
Welcome to Shaw University, a place where history is made, leaders emerge, and transformation begins. Founded in 1865, we were the first HBCU in the southern United States. Our vibrant campus is a unique living and learning community. We are located in the heart of downtown Raleigh and a short drive from Research Triangle Park. At Shaw University, you will learn from dedicated professors and meet lifelong friends. You can take part in over 30 different academic and service organizations. Get involved in Greek life, sports, or the Platinum Sound Shaw University's notable marching band. From its start as the first historically black university in the southern United States to the vibrant campus we are today, Shaw University is the right place to grow, learn, and explore.
Tradition, leadership, community, serving over 3,000 student athletes hailing from historically black colleges and universities. We are the CIAA, established in 1912, the first African-American collegiate conference in the U.S., the third highest ranked NCAA basketball tournament in the nation. It's more than a game. Each year we raise over $1.5 million to support our athletes and impact our communities. That's the CIAA tradition. Come live the legacy.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Tradition, leadership, community, serving over 3,000 student athletes hailing from historically black colleges and universities. We are the CIAA. Established in 1912, the first African American collegiate conference in the U.S., the third highest ranked NCAA basketball tournament in the nation. It's more than a game. Each year we raise over $1.5 million to support our athletes and impact our communities. That's the CIAA tradition. Come live the legacy.
Welcome to Shaw University, a place where history is made, leaders emerge, and transformation begins. Founded in 1865, we were the first HBCU in the southern United States. Our vibrant campus is a unique living and learning community. We are located in the heart of downtown Raleigh and a short drive from Research Triangle Park. At Shaw University, you will learn from dedicated professors and meet lifelong friends. You can take part in over 30 different academic and service organizations. Get involved in Greek life, sports, or the Platinum Sound, Shaw University's notable marching band. From its start as the first historically black university in the southern United States to the vibrant campus we are today, Shaw University is the right place to grow, learn, and explore.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Saturday football showcase right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, arguably the heart of North Carolina. And the Shaw University Bears right now, they're showing a lot of heart at home. Starting off this second half, they're up on the Central State Marauders 28-0 in their first home game of the season. And the Shaws have had their fair share of defense and their fair share of offense. James Tank Williams right here with my man DB. DB, tell me what you have seen so far and what you're looking forward to out of these Bears.
What I've seen, James, in the first half is Shaw control both lines of scrimmage, and that equates to almost 300 yards of total offense for Shaw and only about 155 yards of offense for Central State. And after that kickoff return by Shaw, they're in excellent field position to put even more points on the board to begin this third quarter.
Now, we had a few players to watch, and some of those names included Mr. Sid the Kid Gibbs. Now, Sidney Gibbs, so far in just the first half, is having a game that a lot of guys would like to have over 4 quarters, and he did it in 2 quarters. Sidney Gibbs so far, 136 yards on the ground and only 10 carries with a 58-yard touchdown to add to his resume. Now, outside of that, Mr. Christian Peters, freshman redshirt quarterback, 12 of 14 passing, 2 touchdowns, 122 yards. I don't think you can ask for much more out of this Bears offense, as Peters right now scrambles and is able just to get it off to get an incomplete pass.
Christian Peters there running around, scrambling, trying to use his mobility to find a receiver open downfield, able to get that pass off to create a third down opportunity for Shaw. But talking about Sidney Gibbs, had that 58-yard house call, AKA tugboat, in the first half on the first play offensively for Shaw University. Just a pedestrian 136 on the ground for Sidney Gibbs, and look for him to do that more in the second half. He's hard to bring down with one defender. At only 5'9", 190, you wouldn't know it. He's a tough, tough tackle.
Yeah, not just something too casual, a little pedestrian right there for Sidney Gibbs, 136. Peters right now, he's nothing pedestrian about his game. On the run right there, under pressure, throws a strike right there to number 11. That's Mr. Elliott Dangerfield. Christian Peters picking up exactly where he left off to end the first half. And then once you know it, the Shaw Bears once again are in striking position early on in this second half. As Gibbs right there takes a handoff, he's going to get about 4 on a first down, leave him at about a second down and 6.
You know, that previous play, third down situation, Peters climbed the pocket, stepped up in the pocket, found Elliott Dangerfield. Sure hands by Dangerfield. That's what you call, ladies and gentlemen, kids, if you're watching the game, catching the ball with your hands. Don't catch it against your body. Catch it with your hands, able to bring that in for the first down.
Peters right now back into that split back look. Like we have a shotgun a little bit back on his side. That's Gibson on his right-hand side. He's going to send a man in motion. It's number 13, Belcher. Peters takes it. He's going to hand it off to Gibson, and Gibson, like he's going to pick up a gain of about 2 or 3 right there to make it a third and a short. And like you spoke on, DB, Peters so far, he has been mobile and agile in the pocket now. Granted, with him being a redshirt freshman, probably some of those runs outside the pocket were not necessary, but you have to give credit where credit is due. And Peters on the run has been making a lot of dots, as we like to call them back home. Great throws, great bullet passes in some tight windows. And his mobility so far has, to me, been the X factor of this game.
Yeah, definitely. One thing about me, I love a mobile quarterback. Gives you a
Gibson right there is going to tug his way. They're trying to strip the ball from him, but I don't think you're getting that ball from that grown man too easy. He rumbles and tumbles his way for a first down, and now the Bears are inside the red zone.
Yeah, Peters' mobility creates opportunities in the pass game and run game for Shaw University. Things break down in the pocket. He's able to scramble and really throw his wide receivers open or scramble for a first down. Also makes you honest on the defensive end. He's a threat to run the ball in that RPO action. You got to honor him as a runner. Really opens up lanes for the running game.
And Peters right there sort of missed moments of snap, still able to get it to Gibson. And they're going to have a loss on that play. Not exactly sure what the issue was with the snap, but I think if you're Coach Jones as well as the rest of the Bears, you're happy with that. Something that could have easily been a momentum killer, a turnover right there. Peters stays calm, just hands it off to his back, and they're going to live to see another day inside the red zone.
Yeah, Peters not much on that carry, as the Bears were lucky to get the ball back after that bad snap. It's like senior Tevin Perry is going to make his first appearance on the offensive side of the ball.
Peters right now going to stay in that shotgun look. He's going to take the snap. He's going to pull it out from Gibson. He's going to, oh my goodness, a drop ball right there by the Shaw University Bears. That's number 9, John Barnes. Barnes, who already has a touchdown in his game, could have had one more easily right there. Could have walked his way into the end zone if he had grabbed it on that catch right there.
Absolute right play call. Barnes open, just couldn't squeeze that one. Defender made a play on the ball, but if you're John Barnes, you'd love to have that one back. Love to bring that one in for another touchdown for Shaw.
Yeah, what's the old rule? If it hits your hands, it's a catchable ball. And I know Barnes, he's going to wish he had that one back later on.
They may come back to that exact same play here. You never know.
They're going to go what would have been 3 wideouts to the left. They're going to send a man in motion. Peters is going to drop back. He's going to look to his left, look to his right. Doesn't see anything. Moves around in the pocket. He's going to get the corner. He needs a block, but I think he's going to get there. 15, Christian Peters. Young man rumble with a little jitty dance at the end. Christian Peters, you deserve it. On his legs, makes a play, says, forget the arm, I'll do it myself. And puts another 6 on the board for the Shaw Bears early on in this second half.
I hate to be right, but I don't hate to be right. One thing about me, I love a mobile quarterback. And when you got mobility from the quarterback position, sky's the limit. It opens up the entire field. Peters couldn't find anyone downfield, tucks it, runs it, touchdown, Shaw Bears.
So Shaw Bears come out and strike early again. And maybe that's the theme of this Bear team so far. Let's punch you in the mouth to start the quarter off, and let's see how you attack. As they're going to knock on the extra point right there. It's going to make it 35-0. And Central State, boy, do they have a mountain in front of them to climb to get back in the different boats.
Yeah, Peters, again, mobility. One of the X factors for Peters and head coach Adrian Jones' decision to make that change from Torian Campbell to Christian Peters after the Wingate game, and it provided dividends against Davidson, and is surely doing the same thing today versus Central State. And I'm going to reiterate one thing about me. I love a mobile quarterback. And when you can run and get that tugboat from the quarterback position, you got to love it.
Guess what, folks? Guess what, fans? You'll never guess it, but DB loves a mobile quarterback.
One thing about me.
I think what impresses me most so far about Peters is that with him still being a redshirt freshman, knowing he has the ability to run, that's not his first option. Even when he's rolling out of pocket, he's looking downfield. He's looking, can I get how many or how much can I get my guys involved? Can I throw on the run? And his last resort is able to use his speed. And a lot of guys with that blazing speed, that would be the first thing that they're willing to do. So great offensive run right there by Peters as a great drive for the Bears to open his first half, taking 4 minutes off the clock. And now they're going to kick it off to Central State. And they're looking for a big play to just get any type of momentum, any type of flow on their side.
Yeah, Christian Peters leading that drive early in the third quarter. Now you look up at the scoreboard. If you're Central State, you're down 35-love. What do you do? What type of intestinal fortitude do you have? Do you continue to fight and try to get back in this ball game, or you lay down on the field?
Central State's going to have the ball right there at the 25 to start their drive. My man DB right there with a little bit of a tennis reference, 35-love, but it's not a lot of love being shown by the Bears so far.
Yeah, I set you up. I set you up for that one. I set you up for that one. You got to intertwine the sports.
My guy wanted me to serve it back to him. Okay, I like this guy, DB. We might can work with this.
Yeah, man, it's going to be one of those type situations for Central State on this drive. What do? Do you run the ball? Do you try to air it out with your quarterback, who hasn't had a terrible day as far as passing in the first half, but it hasn't added up to any points on the board? How do you get a drive going, try to get some momentum offensively?
I don't think we're too deep into the game where they have to completely evade the running game, but maybe if you get the running game involved, as they get the tight end involved right there, they're going to have a first down. Number 82 right there for Central State making the catch, the big tight end. That's going to be Justin Albright, the big wideout. Sort of tight on the line that time. I don't think we're too far in this game where you have to evade the run. Maybe you run the ball right here, get a touchdown, and you get that momentum on your side.
Yeah, being down 38, zap, and that's Z-A-P-P. It's going to be hard for Central State, but you got to take it. There's no 35-point plays. You got to take it one play at a time, put together a drive, put some points on the board, and try to create some type of momentum right now. If you're Shaw defensively, do what you've been doing. Control the line of scrimmage. Don't give up anything deep down the field. Make Central State earn it. Make them put a long drive together. It's hard in football to put a long drive together without any penalties, without any mistakes. So if you're Shaw, you want to make Central State earn everything.
Central State right here, about a 2nd and 8. Maya's going to look over at the sideline, communicating. Still keeping in the shotgun look. Haven't seen him under center, but pretty much one play this whole game. He's going to take it right there. He's going to hand it off to Dunlap, and Dunlap has nowhere to go. He's going to get back to where they started at. It's going to be about a third. Oh, excuse me. They're going to give him a gain of about a yard right there. They're going to keep it at about a 3rd and 6. And that has one thing that Shaw has pretty much benefited from: a lot of 3rd down and 5 and up, a lot of 3rd down and 6s. This Shaw Bear has had to have provided against Central State, and that definitely helps out your defense. Makes it a lot more predictable about what they're going to do, especially when Central State hasn't had much control or much fun running the ball, should I say.
A big play here offensively for Central State. They have to pick up this first down.
And that's going to be just short of a pick right there for number 5, Mr. Anthony Carter, the junior defensive back. A lot of pressure right there on Amaya. Pressure by number 40. That's going to be D'Angelo McMillan. He had the only sack on the team coming into this game. It's been pretty quiet here today, but that is a good play to set their defense up, or set their punt return, should I say, up, for a chance to get the ball back into better territory for the Bears.
Yeah, Anthony Carter upset with himself on the sideline. Know if he could have kept his footing and possibly picked that one off. Nothing but green grass in front of him. But Central State punting it back to the Shaw Bears, already up 35-0. You cannot be that upset.
You're going to punt off to Mr. And this guy's actually going to be blocked. And I think they're going to score here, folks. That punter has no way to catch him. Special teams. Make yourself a play. That's number 9 right there, John Barnes, the wide receiver who has had a day on special teams. And this Shaw Bear team Right now, you can't tell them anything except what the score is and how they can run it up a little bit more.
Yeah, John Barnes making up for that drop touchdown, saying, hey, I'll pick up this block punt. Don't mind if I do. And like you said, man, you can't tell Shaw nothing right there. That 0-2 start to start the season, they don't want to hear about that. Right now, they are balling.
And as you brought up earlier, DB said he's always right. And DB might just be right about 95% of the time. I got to be honest with him because he said that special teams would be a key, and they had some pretty big plays on special teams, but none bigger than John Barnes right there picking up that block punt for a touchdown. And now it's going to be 42-zip in favor of the Bears with 9 minutes to go in just this third quarter. So in just 6 minutes, the Bears have put on an extra 14 points against Central State.
Yeah, right now it's getting real dire for Central State. Well, it's past dire. It's 42-0. If you're head coach Bobby Rome and the Marauders, what do? What do you say to your players? Do you get in their face and challenge them, challenge their manhood, or do you try to nurture them? It's a fine line right now. That's why they get paid the big bucks to coach, and I'm up here in the booth. But it's a long game. You still got 9 minutes left in the third and the entire fourth quarter. What do you do if you're Central State? What type of backbone do you have? What type of heart do you have? And you'll see that for the remaining of the game.
And right now it is high emotions on this side now with both teams on opposite sides of that spectrum. Shaw University right now a little bit more elated, and the Central State more so on the other end of the emotional spectrum. They're going to have to pick it up, and right now this is a test of will. On the road, 1-1, game's not going in your favor, haven't had a lot to go in your favor. Right now, this is when you look at your teammates, you got to pick each other up and say how much or how many good things can we get out of this third quarter and go into the fourth quarter, and maybe just try to make this a more manageable game as Shaw University is going to come out and kick this ball off to Central State for, I believe, the second time so far in this quarter.
When you're looking for some spark on Central State side, it could come in the kick return. They've had pretty good kick returns in this game. They had several opportunities. Shaw scored a ton of points. See what they can do on this kick return.
That's Jawan Jones who's going to get it once again, and he doesn't have anywhere to go. He's going to stay on his feet. He takes a nice hit right there from number 26 of the Shaw Bears. That's going to be Noah Terry, the freshman defensive back. So right now, Central State at pretty much their own 26. They're going to send the offense back out, and we have a quarterback change for Central State. It's going to be Tyreek Henderson, who had has a couple snaps to end that first half. Now, he has had snaps in prior games this season for Central State, and then he's going to take over right now as they try to pick up some momentum or at least a first down right here to get this offense going.
Well, Central State played 3 quarterbacks in their last contest in that win versus Lincoln, so Henderson he's seen the field, but he hadn't played that much in this ball game. Let's see if he can provide a spark for the Marauders.
And Henderson right there runs into the arm of a big defensive lineman right there. 9, number 99, Michael Chesney, the junior from Sanford, North Carolina. Quarterback draw right there. Henderson not too much of a fake. Still nowhere to go. Keeping the same shotgun look as they did when Amaya was in at quarterback.
Controlling the line of scrimmage. Shaw's done it both offensively and defensively, making it super hard for Central State to just get first downs.
And as you spoke on earlier, DB, how the secondary is the strong suit of this defense. That's one thing they love. They love when they have a couple guys up front can force some pressure, some bad throws. It makes it a lot easier on them, especially if they're looking for their own highlights to get a couple picks. I think we're going to have a delay of game right here unless there was a timeout call.
The secondary has a lot of talent and a lot of experience. Jaleel Scroggins, Deshaun Wallace, they've all played a lot of football. Akithio Carson played a lot of football as a true freshman back in 2019, so they've got experience, they've got talent in that secondary, and they know what to do versus different looks offensively. So if you're not able to run the ball against Shaw this season and you think you're just going to throw it all over the field on them, you're going to be in for a rude awakening because they have a really, really good secondary.
Rude awakening indeed it is for Central State, down 42-zip right now on the road to the Shaw University Bears. And as you spoke on about their big defensive back, now we're up here, we're sort of the eye in the sky. But from up here, these guys are some healthy defensive backs if I ever seen them. I mean, these are guys tallying over 6 foot, 6'1", and that's typically not what you see in defensive backs at any level. Nevertheless, the Division II level of NCAA football.
Yeah, Anthony Carter, first time as a full-time starter, but he played a lot in 2019. He's one of the most athletic guys on the team. And
that's going to be a pick. Sorry, Sperling, Mr. All CIAA preseason first teammate. He goes straight to the camera and says, hey, they don't give me 0 for a minute. I guess that means that 0 is no passes allowed, no yards allowed. And please don't throw it over here or you're going to have 0 catches. And he's living up to that all CIAA preseason selection.
Yeah, Jaleel Scroggins, Mr. CIAA Rookie of the Year. There are plenty of accolades for Jaleel Scroggins, first team all CIAA during the 2019 season. He really diagnosed that play, stepped in front of it. If Jaleel Scroggins intercepted, Anthony Carter was right there to intercept it. So just new quarterback for Central State, telegraphed that throw, easy interception for the Bears.
Now we're going to have a quarterback change actually for the Bears. It's going to be Terren Campbell. He's going to come in and he's going to fake the handoff. He has Elijah Misha out there and he's flat. That's a great tackle made right there by number 10 for Central State. That's going to be Joe White. Terren Campbell has stepped in at quarterback for the Shaw Bears as they take over inside the red zone.
Yeah, Terren Campbell was the starting quarterback for Shaw in the 2019 season. Had a really good season, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, but struggled at the beginning of this season. They've made the change to Christian Peters. Peters have proven the coaching staff right, but you got to keep Campbell involved. He's one play away from being on the field. Injuries are a part of the game. You don't want anyone to get injured. You don't know what can happen, but you got to keep your backup ready. Peters was a backup at one time. He was ready. Now the script is flipped, and Campbell is the backup. He has to remain ready. It's good to get him some snaps in this blowout so far.
Yeah, like you said, DB, any given Saturday, it could be your time. It could be your moment to step up and play big minutes. And now Terren Campbell's going to take over. Has Gibson on this left side. And Terren Campbell feels like a linebacker out there playing quarterback. He's not showing no size either. He hands it off to Gibson. That's not a Gibson. Excuse me. That's actually Telvin Perry, senior running back out of Bourne, North Carolina. Was able to take that one for a couple yards, get it down to what seems to be the 6-yard line inside Central's territory.
Yeah, Tevin Perry, mainly a kick returner. He does hold the snaps for extra points and field goals, but he's been returning kicks at Shaw since his freshman season. Had a catastrophic knee injury that he's returning from, and that extra season off gave him an opportunity to even build more strength in that knee, giving him an opportunity here to get some carries in this ball game. But now you see a field goal opportunity for Shaw University. Let's see if the Bears can knock this one in.
That's good, good hold, and it is money straight through the uprights right there to take the Shaw Bears lead to 45-0 right here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
There's my man Devin the Dude given an opportunity on a field goal, knocks it through. Talented freshman is Devin Vistirjan. He's also like the quasi-videographer for the ball club, does a lot of hype videos for the team, and you got to love him, man. And let's be honest. You look at Devin, he's white. He's a white guy. He's a Caucasian guy. And this is HBCU football, but he fits in so well. That's my guy, Devin the Dude.
Hey, man, we get a look down there at Devin's cleats. I mean, Devin has all the field swag, but nobody else has it. Mitch Matt's cleats. Okay, Devin.
Swaggy D.
If that's your guy, he could play for me. The guy's all right with me. So here we are. Shaw is getting ready to kick it off right now. About a third of the quarter left, 5 minutes and 46 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Bears up 45-0, and it seems to be they're steadily applying pressure, even with their second stringers in right now, to the Central State Marauders.
Yeah, 45-0 offensively. Defensively, Shaw, they haven't allowed a point, so they play lights out offensively. Had a couple of penalties where, you know, if you're Coach Jones and that staff, you can really coach them up on that, but you can't be upset with 45 points midway through the third quarter. What do you say to your team on the sideline?
Jawan Jones now has a lane to the outside, and he's going to, lowers the shoulder, lowers the boom, and I think that was on John Barnes, who has had some great plays on special teams, sort of gets the brunt end of that lit there. Yeah, 9-on-9 crime right there on the other sideline.
John Barnes not only is a really decent wide receiver, good, may I add, but punt, block, for a touchdown, hellacious hit on the sideline on a kick return. That young man has come to play.
Swiss Army knife today, Mr. John Barnes, as Central State is going to take over on their own 35. Now, DB, what exactly, if you're on that sideline, what exactly are you saying right now to Central State? A lot of time left in this game. What are you looking for your team?
If you're Central State, you're looking at how your players finish out this game. Unless there is a stoppage of time or something, you're probably going to lose this ball game. But how you finish it out, how you play for the remainder of the contest, you're going to take that towards your next game. If you just give up, if you don't put forth any effort, and you just let Shaw do what they want to do, you can get out of here. Shaw's not going to stop scoring, and Shaw's not going to stop coming after you defensively. So you got to make plays out there. There's still plenty of time to get something out of this game.
Henderson's going to drop back, sees a little room to run. He's going to take off pump fakes. He's not going to get out of the way of Devin Hunt, your human GPS, as you like to call him, DB. And I think he found his way to number 12 right there, Henderson. He just has to slide down and live to see another day. I'm not sure if he's going to win that battle one-on-one against Devin Hunt in the open field.
Yeah, Devin Hunt turned on that GPS, hit that Bluetooth, and Tyreek Henderson made a business decision sliding down. That's one thing about them quarterbacks, they're smart, and that was a smart decision by Mr. Henderson.
Henderson right now, shotgun look, trying to get the defense to jump offside. As the Shaw University band has cranked it up one more time. Oh, excuse me, Central State band, after putting on a great halftime show. Henderson right here is going to hand it off. They're going to be well short of a first down. That's number 6 on the carry right there. Lemire Garrett, 5'11" sophomore out of Canton, Ohio, right there on the carry.
If you're Central State's band, why are you playing at level 1,000 while your team has the ball? It makes it kind of hard for them to hear the snap count, but I digress.
DB, I truly understand what you're saying, but I think their mindset is, hey, somebody has to leave here with a W tonight. we can't go back all the way to Ohio and we don't have one win to our name. So I can't blame him right here. Great punt right here. And that's actually going to be returned by number 4, Jermaine Russell. He's going to make a cut back. And and that's like quite a play right there. I think that's a strip ball. Great play right there by Mr. Malik Jackson. Now, Jermaine Russell, we have seen him take risks all game, and that was actually a pretty safe play by him. But Jermaine Jackson, talk about a ball hawk. Troy Polamalu-esque play right there, just stripping it and falling on it all in one motion. I don't think you can coach that right there.
That was going to be a house call. If that play had not been made, Russell had cut it back towards the middle of the field. He had one player to beat, and that player was able to strip the ball from him. Could be the spark that Central State needed, not to win the game because it's 45-0, but you can get back into the contest, and you can really show what your coaches that, hey, we're not giving up.
Hey, DB, don't sell us too short of a college football miracle here today in Raleigh, North Carolina.
45-0. I will cut my dreadlocks off if they come back from 45-0 down. Okay. But I digress.
I think the referee just said they got some scissors on the field for the end of this game. Maybe
he can keep them because it ain't happening, Captain.
Going to have a stoppage and play right here. Flag. It's going to be a false start against Central State.
See, you got to play perfect. If you're down 45-0, you can't have false starts. You got to play perfect. You got to score every time you get the ball. You have to turn Shaw over. You got to score right away. You got to get onsides. It's an uphill battle, but what you can do is you can fight. You can make the right play. You can fight until the last whistle, but let's be honest.
I'll tell you what, DB, if we get to half of $1 up, if the Bears can get to 50-0 up on the Bears, I think we'll be on the same side.
They're going to get there. Shaw's going to score again. Central State has played hard, but they have not stopped Shaw. Shaw stopped themselves today. Shaw has put drives together. They've scored points.
Henderson drops back. Doesn't have anywhere to throw. He's going to actually throw it to the back of the end zone. And he's just man out of real estate right there. They say it's the DB, and he actually looked like he came down hard on his arm. He's a Manly's man-to-man. He gets back up and he's going to jog back to the huddle. Thrown in double coverage right there by Henderson, sort of a why not throw. Throw it to your hottest receiver today and see what he can do with it in the back of the end zone.
Yes, Sidibe was the go-to receiver, is the go-to receiver for Central State. Had a pretty good first half with 9 catches for 109 yards. Tried to go to him there at the back of the end zone for the touchdown. He is one of the lone bright spots today for Central State.
Henderson has it once again. He's going to drop back. Survey. Has a man. Pretty good catch right there by number 15. That's Kenyatis Hollis Jr., wide receiver sophomore. Pretty good catch right there. Haven't called his name a lot today, but that was a strong catch. Henderson makes it more of a manageable third down right here for Central State.
Yeah, didn't need to pick up everything there on that second down, making it a third and manageable.
He's going to drop back. He's going to look. Has his back out to the left side, which should be a easy first down, and they do have it. Number 6, Lamir Garrett, the 215-pound sophomore running back. And ladies and gentlemen, he is every bit of that 215, toting that route right there to the sideline. And they're actually going to say he was short of the first down, so he must have tapped out of bounds before getting to the first down marker.
Yeah, that's the hustle of Hunt to run over to the sideline to try to stop the running back from getting the first down. Did stop the running back. Now it's going to be a 4th and short. If you're the Shaw defense, you can get off the field here.
And Henderson right here, he's going to sneak it. And I think it's going to be a false start. So both of those times, Central State have tried to sort of run that audible quarterback sneak. They just have been
not quite set.
Flagged for it.
Yeah, when you're trying to run up to the line of scrimmage and fool the defense and go fast and pick up that 4th and short, lineman got to get set. Lineman may go before the ball is set, and you get that motion penalty. And now it's going to force Central State to think about what they want to do on this 4th down.
So we have a timeout right here by Central State. Shaw University Bears taking care of business so far at home. So far, so good, up 45-0 over Central State. 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Don't go anywhere because more football action is coming up. This is Shaw Bears Network.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Saturday college football showcase right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shaw University Bears taking care of business so far in this game. 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter, and they're up 45 big ones over the Marauders of Central State. Marauders right here on a 4th and 5, trying to convert. Henderson throws it, and that's going to be well short. That's going to be a great tackle made in open field by number 17 of the Shaw Bears, Kevin Sherman, senior defensive back. And the Shaw offense is going to take over once again with another chance to put 7 more on this home scoreboard.
I tried to told you, those defensive backs, the secondary for Shaw, they got talent. And Kevin Sherman is a senior. He's been here. He's played a lot of football at Shaw University, and he comes up with a huge 4th down stop, gives the offense the ball back. And like I said, if you're Shaw, the goal for the rest of this game to get you back up some reps and get out of here with no injuries.
Now for both teams right now, this is actually pretty much valuable time that both teams could use. Even in Central State now, even though you may be on the wrong end of the stick here, this is a lot of time to get your guys as well some in-game reps, try out some different plays that you might want to run later on in this season against your conference opponents. As they're going to hand it off right there, and he's going to lay the shoulder down. Strong run right there by, looks like number 28. That's going to be Jaytwan Fields, the sophomore running back out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Myers Park. Sort of a strong high school powerhouse down there in the 704. And he definitely running with some power right there. And Mr. Torrin Campbell, he's in at quarterback once again. Going to hand it off to Fields one more time. And Fields doesn't have anywhere to go. Picks up a gain of about 2. Stays upright. Going to make it about a 2nd and 8 right here for the Bears.
Again, right now, if you're Shaw, you don't have to throw the ball for the remainder of the game unless you just want to work on some things offensively, give your backup quarterback some work in the passing game. Goal is to get out of here with no injuries, celebrate your first win in front of your home crowd in a season and a half, 2 seasons.
And it sure is nice to be able once again to see full crowd. Seems like as if we were never going to get back to this point at one time, and now here we are, full crowd right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, as Torrin Campbell throws a nice ball, and he breaks a tackle. And boy is getting loose. Number 10 right there, Cameron Richardson, who already has a receiving touchdown on the year, the senior. He's trying to make a couple guys miss and get another one for his stat book before this game is over. A minute left to go in this third quarter right here, Shaw University at home.
Yeah, Shaw looks like they're going to run their offense. They got to make sure that Torrin Campbell and anyone who plays backup positions, you got to make sure that they're ready when their number is called. Looks like this one's going to come back on a flag, but they're throwing the football. It's not up to Shaw to accommodate the feelings of Central State. You got to stop them. You know, if you don't want to get embarrassed, you got to stop them. Central State got to come up with a defensive stop and get the ball back and give your offense an opportunity to possibly put some points on the board.
And you cannot blame Coach Jones right now. If you have your second stringers in, then that's all you can pretty much do in aid of Central State, giving your guys some reps here, your second stringers some reps. And trust me, down the road, these are going to be some valuable reps, especially for Torrin Campbell, who started this season at quarterback for the Bears. He drops back to pass. That's a nice bullet pass right there to number 10, once again, Cameron Richardson. And that's going to make it, I believe, a 4th down and about 6. Excuse me, a 3rd down and about 6.
It looks like they got the penalty yardage back on that play. Campbell found Richardson, had Jermaine Russell on that post corner, streaking down the field. Could have went deep, chose to go with the underneath route to set up this 3rd and manageable.
Campbell once again at quarterback, takes the snap, is going to drop back, looks, and that's going to, should have been a pick right there by number 10. Should have been Joe White right there. Ball right there in his hands, tip drill pass. And Torrin Campbell right there, probably a little too trigger happy throwing to Cameron Richardson. It would have been 3 catches in a row for Richardson. And they sort of get away with one right there. And Mr. Joe White is probably going to wish that he had another opportunity at that one. Would have added another INT to his resume for this season.
Well, Richardson tapping his chest as if letting Torrin Campbell know that, hey, that's on me. That ball hit me in the chest. Should have caught that one. Should have got you another reception, another completion, but defensive stop for the Marauders. That's what you want to see if you're the coach. Don't give up on the game. You know it's an uphill battle, but don't give up. Keep fighting. Now you have an opportunity to get the ball back, and maybe you can put a drive together and take some momentum, not for this game, but into the next ball game.
We're going to have a timeout right here by the Shaw Bears. And as you were speaking on about Central State, they haven't played a terrible game. Now, granted, Shaw has been very dominant on the offensive and defensive line, but it's that there are some positive takeaways from this game. Probably their biggest downfall has definitely been the fact that they just cannot control the line of scrimmage against this Shaw University offensive and defensive line.
Yeah, Central State, it was an uphill battle for the Marauders coming here. They didn't quite know what they were getting themselves into, because if you look at Shaw's record, hey, they're 0-2, but Shaw played a tough Division II opponent in Wingate, top 25 in Division II. Then they played a FCS opponent in Davidson, who won their conference, the Pioneer League, in 2020. So Shaw has played 2 tough opponents. Central State they played Kentucky State, which is a pretty good opponent. They lost that ball game, and they played Lincoln, who's struggling as a program, and they beat Lincoln. So Shaw just came in here hungry for a win, and it looks like at 45-0, they may come away with it.
Yeah, if they do not come away with this one, I think me and you we'll have to talk it out later.
I told you my locks are safe. There is no way.
And those 2 losses for the Bears that you mentioned, DB, those are sort of misleading losses, playing against top opponents. And those are the type of games, yes, they're good losses if there ever was such a thing. playing top competition like that, that helps you get ready, especially when you go into conference play later on the season. That makes you a stronger team.
Yeah, they hadn't played in, over 600 days before they played Wingate. So it was going to be some rust in that game. Took the L in that one, went to Davidson, played tremendous football in that one, played so much better than they did against Wingate, almost came away with the upset win, and today looks like they're putting it all together.
And that is going to be the end of the third quarter right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shaw University Bears hoping that they can run away from this one. If they haven't ran away with it already against Central State at home, taking care of business. This is Shaw Bears Network.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Saturday College Football Showcase. Shaw University Bears at home doing what they do best, and that is securing a win in front of their home crowd. So it seems to start this fourth quarter off up 45-0 over the Central State Marauders. Central State taking over within their own territory once again, looking at about a 2nd and 9 right here.
If you're Central State, want to try to put a drive together, put some points on the board, get a good feeling. It's a long way back to Wilberforce, let me tell you. So you got a ball game against Miles College next week. You don't want to take this loss into next week's game if you're Central State. So try to take some positive out of this fourth quarter, put a drive together, maybe get some points on the board. And if you're defensively for Central State, you want to try to stop Shaw and maybe get the ball back again. You never know. You got 15 minutes to get something done. But it all started for me at the line of scrimmage. I know Shaw has a great defensive line. They got seniors on that defensive line. They have talent on that defensive line. So it was going to be tough for Central State to run the football. It's something that they wanted to do with their quarterback situation being fluid. Central State hadn't been able to run the football. They've had to throw it, and they've done a decent job throwing it, but no points to show for it are the Marauders.
And for the Marauders, I think this is one of those games where it sort of exposes to you all of the kinks that you may have on offense or defense that you want to work out before you get to conference play. But as you spoke on, looking into next week, now Shaw is going to be taking on Lincoln. They're going to be back on the road once again. They're going to be taking on Lincoln. Now, Central State was able to beat Lincoln, so Shaw has to go into that game with their heads high right there as we have a drop pass on the field. But Shaw has to go into that game feeling, hey, there's no way that we can smoke the next one next week against Lincoln after Central has already beaten Lincoln themselves.
Well, you can't do that if you're Shaw. You have to go into next week's contest with the same feeling like your back is against the wall like today. Does not matter that Central State has already beaten Lincoln. It's Shaw University playing Lincoln now. Any given Saturday, anybody can beat anybody. If you don't come ready to play, you can get your butt kicked. So Shaw and head coach Adrian Jones, they understand that. They'll take that mentality into this week's practice, and they'll take that mentality on the road to Philly, and hopefully they can come away with a huge road CIAA win.
And Jermaine Russell looking for it, and he's just going to be stopped. Just show he had a couple of blockers. If he could have stayed in bounds right there, I'm pretty sure he would have hit paved dirt, ladies and gentlemen. Jermaine has been running hard all game with those punt returns. He did have that one mishap earlier on the strip, but outside of that, pretty solid returns right there for Jermaine Russell. I'm pretty sure with those returns, he's going to be looking like, hey, when can I get some touches in the regular offense with the way he's been running on punt returns?
Yeah, Central State has had trouble, corralling Russell all afternoon on that punt coverage, except for that one turnover for Russell. But other than that, he's gained huge chunks of yardage in the return game, setting up Shaw for a easy offensive possession.
Cameron right there is going to hand it off to number 24, Shaw University Bears. That's going to be Tevin Perry, senior running back, one of the feature runners back. And should I say this running back wheel that the Shaw Bears have had and it is a collection of different tools and all of those backs. One thing about them, they all run hard.
Yeah, I root for Tevin Perry. He is a senior. You got to love seniors who stick it out in the program and have battled adversity. He's had a knee injury that he's battled back from. And I just remember Perry when he was in high school at Bunn, and he was one of the best running backs I've seen in high school, and came to Shaw University when the program was still trying to build things up, and he was one of the early recruits for head coach Adrian Jones and the Shaw Bears, and he's seen a progression from no wins to 6 wins in 2019. So now he's a senior. He's getting an opportunity here in the fourth quarter in a blowout win to get some carries under his belt.
And guys like Perry are the type of guys that you want to build your program around. Solid foundation guys that you can look to be leaders, as he stopped right there behind the line of scrimmage. A little scrappy right there between two linemen. 53 on 53 right there near the Shaw sideline. But as I was saying earlier, Perry's just the type of guy you want to build your program around. Definitely a leader in the locker room and a leader on the field, being able to battle through adversity like that. And on top of that, can still lay some damage at that running back position.
Yeah, good tackle there by Joe White for Central State. That's one of the players for the Marauders who he's played hard this afternoon, just a little bit outmatched on the defensive side of the ball have been Central State.
Cameron's going to take it, going to hand it off to Perry one more time. He's going to be short of the end zone, like it's going to be about a 3rd and 3 to the goal line for the Bears.
Yeah, see what the coaches are doing here. They're determined to get Tevin Perry into that end zone. You want to see your seniors rewarded for all the hard work they put into the program. Would not surprise me in the least if they just put this back into the gut of Tevin Perry, try to punch this one into the end zone.
And don't be surprised if you hear this sideline erupt when Terry Perry, if he hits pay dirt. Campbell right there with a hard count, trying to get the defense to move. It's going to go back. It's going to take the snap. They're going to hand it off to Perry. Perry has to make one man. Oh, and that is a great tackle right there by Central State defense. It looked like it was number 21, which would have been Jadon Say, the junior defensive back, 165 pounds, but he makes a strong tackle right there to prevent Terry from getting into the end zone.
Yeah, heck of an open field tackle there, stopping Tevin Perry from reaching pay dirt, trying to get him into the end zone. Just a great open field play there by Central State.
Now, it looks like the Bears are going to try to go to their big boys right here. It's a big package of backs and tight ends, including Elijah Mitchell, who's the big tight end converted from defensive end, as we mentioned earlier. Like, they're going to try to force Perry in here on this 4th down, and he just has nowhere to go. So Central State comes up with a big stop, too little, too late in this game. Definitely something to build on next week, but that is a stop right there, and you hate to see it for Tevin Perry. I think we are both up here rooting for Perry to get into the end zone right there.
And Coach Jones elected to go for it there on 4th, not take the short field goal, trying to get his senior into the end zone. Just knowing Coach personally, I know he wanted to get his senior, Tevin Perry, into that end zone, not able to do so, but huge stop defensively for Central State. That's something you can take as a coach, as Bobby Rome II on that long trip back to Wilberforce, Ohio, as, hey, we stepped up, we bowled our backs on that 4th and goal situation and stopped them. We can do that all game long. We can stack wins on top of wins. Those are things that you take as building blocks as a coach moving forward towards the season.
And it seems like we have an injury right here for Central State, so we're going to take a quick break in action. But don't go anywhere. James Tate Williams and my man DB, we're going to hold it down and keep the football action rolling right here and in Raleigh. This is Shaw Bears Network.
Welcome to Shaw University, a place where history is made, leaders emerge, and transformation begins. Founded in 1865, we were the first HBCU in the southern United States. Our vibrant campus is a unique living and learning community. We are located in the heart of downtown Raleigh and a short drive from Research Triangle Park. At Shaw University, you will learn from dedicated professors and meet lifelong friends. You can take part in over 30
Saturday college football showcase right here and in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shaw University Bears taking on the Central State Marauders. right here in Raleigh-Shaw. Opening home game of the season, and boy, looking at this scoreboard, you can tell that they were ready to come home, protect the home turf, protect the Bears Den. Can we call it that? Is that what the name we're giving it now? The Bears Den right here in Raleigh?
You can call it whatever you want. What I call this is a thorough domination by Shaw University over Central State, and Central State coming out of the SIAC, knocking off a CIAA opponent. Last week in Lincoln, had some confidence coming into this contest, thinking that they could do the same thing on the road once again in Raleigh versus Shaw, but Shaw was having nothing of it. As the first play from scrimmage, you saw Sid the Kid Gibbs rumble and stumble. Not even stumble, he rumbled. He tugged it, that tugboat, 58 yards for a touchdown, and Shaw hadn't looked back since. And defensively is where I'm really impressed with Shaw, because that's where championships are won. I know we get a lot of flashy offensive numbers and spread offenses and what have you, but if you can't stop anybody defensively, then you're going to be in a shootout every week, and you can't win shootouts every week. So this defensive showing is what I wanted to see from Shaw. Like, what can they do defensively? They pretty much taken away the run game of Central State and forced them to throw, and Central State has not been able to sustain drives.
And that actually going to be a fumble right there, but Central State is able to get on top of it. And this defense, as you have been saying, this defense has been relentless all night, and that is a great play once again. And this Central State team is just defeated. You can tell it in the body language and morale of this team. And the Shaw University right now, they're riding a high, and they're going to have to ride that high next week and ride it all the way to Lincoln and to Pennsylvania and try to knock off a conference opponent in Lincoln next week.
There you see brotherly love as Sidney Gibbs greets his brother Savion on the sideline after that big third down stop. I'm not even going to call him Savion anymore. His name is Saytoven.
Okay.
Now, because
the maestro.
Yeah, he's the maestro in the middle, Saytoven Gibbs.
He's going to hear that, and that's going to be all over his highlight tape at the end of this season. That's going to be the intro of it. The two Gibbs brothers right there, they have some chemistry between them going, as well as the rest of this Bears team. Bears up 45-0. This is Shaw Bears Network.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Shaw University is the home site of our game this Saturday. Shaw University Bears at home in Raleigh, North Carolina, taking on the Central State Marauders. And right now, the Bears, they're running away with it, and they're not looking back. Right now, they have Central State's punter actually in the edge of the end zone is getting ready to kick it off to the Bears. And so far, so good for the Bears, and I don't think that's going to change. Central State's punting it off right now. And it's actually going to be returned once again, and he is looking for pay dirt. If there was anybody looking for pay dirt, it is number 4, Jermaine Russell. I think he's returned every punt that he has been kicked to today.
Oh, Jermaine Russell says, I'm returning these punts. Yeah, if I can have an opportunity to get my hands on the ball and make a play, I'm going to do that. But, pretty good coverage there on the return for Central State, kicking the ball out of the back of their end zone, going to set up another great field position drive here for Shaw. Let's see if they could break that century mark. Shaw has been, pretty bland offensively since they taken that 45-0 lead. Hadn't really put too much pressure on Central State. Let's see if they can tack some more points on the board.
Yeah, not sure if the over-under on this game was 45 points. I don't think it was that, but Shaw has definitely showed up and put points on the board. And it's not just been their offense, but their defense has given this offense a lot of opportunities. As Antoine Fields is going to be just a yard short of getting to the end zone. It's going to put it right there on the 1 for this Bears offense. And it looks like they're going to go up-tempo and try to go ahead and put one more touchdown on the board here.
Yeah, burst up the middle for Fields. Almost scored a touchdown on that possession. He's trying to finish it off here.
And they're going to He's going to be inches short of getting a touchdown. Nice tackle right there at the 1 yard line. Number 17, William Dukes the fourth, with a great play. They're going to line it right back up. No huddle offense. Hand it to him again, and once you know, one more touchdown for the Bears. Safe to call that the security blanket, DB?
Security blanket?
That might be the security system, the home lockdown system right here for the Bears, taking care of business at home. It's going to put them over the $50 mark. And DB, I think your dreadlocks are safe here today on this Saturday.
Oh, I had no worries, my brother. This game, although Central State has played hard, just a bit outmatched. As Shaw has shown, like, hey, in Coach Jones, sixth season now, he has proven, like, hey, I built up the roster. I've got some depth. I've got some size. CIAA. He's putting the CIAA on notice with this performance today. Like, hey, the Shaw Bears are going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Like you said, Coach Jones has been in charge of this resurrection right here at the Shaw University football program. And like you said, he's putting them on notice. And that Southern Division better watch out. Now, the Southern Division is strong this year with the likes of Fayetteville State. But this Shaw team showed up to play today, and they can play like this the rest of the season. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, not only in the Southern Division, but in the CIAA conference as a whole.
Yeah, no easy wins in the CI. But look at Shaw. Look at the scoreboard. If you can't score, then you can't win. And Shaw's defense is going to be tough all season long. And if you can put together drives offensively, if you're Shaw and your defense can play the way that they played today, you're going to stack wins on top of wins. And hopefully you'll be playing in that CIAA championship game.
And the Shaw faithful here in the home stands, they're buzzing. They like what they're seeing. They're looking around. They're enjoying. And even the band is getting into it now. And DB, calm your shoulders down. DB has his shoulders in motion up here in the booth.
I had to hit him with the shoulders, partner.
We're gonna make sure DB calms down, doesn't throw his shoulder out of the way. He has to go home tonight.
You know I'm an old man. I don't want to do that. I got 2 kids who love me to pick them up. I gotta have my shoulders right, but you gotta love it if you're a Shaw Bear alum, fan. If you like good football, Shaw's played not a flawless football game, because there's no such thing as playing a flawless game, but they played a complete game offensively, defensively, as well as special teams.
Yeah, and Shaw, they've been pretty aggressive. Now, that has warranted them a couple of flags, but I think if you're Coach Jones and the rest of the staff, you will take a couple flags here and there, knowing that your team just wants to play that aggressive. I think those are one of the things that you have to live with. And as you always say, there's 3 things you can't coach. It's speed, size, and aggressiveness. And that is 3 things that Shaw Bears have, and 3 things that they can expound upon on as this season goes on. Central State right now is going to come back on offense. Let's see if they can try to string together another drive or at least a first down right here for the Marauders.
And this is the beautiful thing for Shaw. You played the majority of the second half with your backups, not only offensively, but defensively. And Central State has yet to put any points on the board. So you gotta really love that if you're the coaching staff, knowing that, hey, if someone goes down, if some unforeseen injury happens defensively, we got some guys who can step in and make plays as well. And it's just a complete team. I've been here from the ground up for the Adrian Jones era. And watching them today, this is the best team he's had so far.
DB, I guess my man said he got it out the mud, as they say, with the Shaw Bears here. Stephon Thomas is taking over, the freshman quarterback, 6'1", 175 pounds, out of Springfield, Ohio. And as we spoke up earlier, that this is a positive thing to take out of this game too as well. Freshman quarterback getting some big-time minutes on the road here with 7 minutes left, as they're going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage right here. It's going to be about a 3rd down and 12 for Central State.
Yeah, Central State now just trying to, maybe string together a drive and just try to get out of here and get back to Wilberforce and get ready for a big-time matchup in conference versus Miles. They're going to be on the road again in Alabama, Fairfield, Alabama, taking on Miles on September 25th.
And for Central State, this is a pretty brutal part of their schedule right here. Having to go on the road in Raleigh, go back, and then have to come back again to Miles College. And this right here is going to prove to Coach Rome exactly what his team is made of. 2 long trips on the road and a pretty hostile environment. Both of those environments are pretty hostile. So you're going to have to definitely rely on your seniors. And you're going to need some more out of your defense, especially on the road games, especially when you have sort of a quarterback roulette already going on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, defensively, they went behind the 8 ball early to start the game. After that Sidney Gibbs touchdown run, you kind of saw that, hey, Shaw could control the line of scrimmage up front, and Shaw saw that as well. They used the run game. They used the mobility of their quarterback, Christian Peters, to just tack on more points, and Peters got it done in the passing game. He got it done on the ground, and Shaw just built that lead. And defensively, Shaw has just controlled, again, like offense, control the line of scrimmage, taking away the run game for Central State, make them throw. The secondary for Shaw, impressive. Blanket coverage results in 0 points for the Marauders.
DB, you're pretty nice size, man. You might have to go out there for the Marauders real fast and just hold it down at corner, just a little, man. We're not asking you to do anything too crazy. I know we had the COVID year, so you might have a season of eligibility left. Just go out there. Maybe you can get an INT and turn things around for the Marauders right here with about 6 minutes left to go in this game.
I'm going to tell you what I tell my daughter when she asks for an ice cream sandwich at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, I probably chill. I probably won't be doing that.
And that is a good run right there for the Bears. It's going to be number 24, Perry, once again, the senior, who has already earned his pay for this program. He just added a little extra on top, a little overtime right here. And dare I say scrummage time of this 4th quarter. Shaw Bears up 52-0 once again over the Central State.
Yeah, I don't have any eligibility left. You can ask Lou Anderson. Lou will tell you that boy is done. Now, you may have some eligibility left.
I think those days are pretty long ago.
No, you still got some size on you, my brother. You can put on some shoulder pads and get out there and let them know what it is.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to definitely get out there, and I'm going to have to work with your boy D Swag at kicker. I'm not taking any licks. I think I'm past those days.
I mean, when you're so far removed from the game as far as playing, you don't realize the amount of hurt. Not even just injury, just always being sore. You got bumps that after practice and games, like, where did that come from? Like, you don't understand. So just being removed from that, man, you got to give all the kudos to these guys. And to go along with practice and games, they got to go to class.
Yeah.
You're a student athlete, so you got to maintain in the classroom as well as on the field. So hats off to both squads, Central State as well as Shaw.
Since you spoke about athletes, I got a quick question for you. What hurts more? That middle of the night cramp that you didn't know that was coming while you were asleep, or you forgetting that you got an exam tomorrow and you walk into class and the exams are already out?
I'm going to say that cramp because with the exam, I'm going to finesse the professor.
Okay.
That talk game vicious, so we got to work something out, Professor. Like, you're going to let me take this test or whatever, what have you, but the cramp, yeah, I can do without that. It's not even a cramp. It's called a chally horse. A chally horse.
That's what you all called it?
See, man, you one of those young boys, man.
Yeah, we just called them cramp.
It's called a chally horse.
Yeah. Whatever you say, Granddad DP, holding it down for us in the booth.
I'll be that. You can have fun when you're up 52. Roger Zapp.
Now, in terms of having fun, I haven't heard anything of any of the athletes on the field right now sort of taking advantage of the new NIL rule, getting paid off their likeness. But after this performance today, I wouldn't be surprised as we see another big play by the Shaw offense if one of these guys, cough, Sidney Gibson or cough, Christian Peters, might secure one of those bags with the NIL getting paid off of their likeness.
Yeah, if Sidney Gibbs and Christian Peters continue to perform at this level, you're going to see some local businesses, you're going to see some internet-type businesses really provide financial stability for those players. And that NIL, that name, image, and likeness has given the opportunity for student athletes to get money over the table. They used to get it under the table. Now you can just outright take advantage of your accolades on the field and turn it into dollars while you're in school.
And I think that's a great thing for athletes. I think that's a great development being made by the NCAA to allow that, especially with so many athletes now never truly understanding what their circumstances may be.
You got high school guys getting huge dollars with that NIL. I wish they would have had that when I was in school.
What do you think deal you would have got? You thought you would have got a double bubble deal, bubble gum deal?
No, I would have went for a grocery store.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have went for a grocery store, something like, Food Lion or Kroger or Harris Teeter, something like that. I would have went for one of those.
I think I might would have tried to get me a couple of free oil changes or something. I started getting my oil change, and he's just been hurting my pockets a little bit. I had to get them there myself and change the oil a couple times.
Yeah, but if you got the grocery store, you not only can feed you can feed your friends, you can feed your teammates, your family. Free food for everybody.
If you're really thinking you're getting the groceries for free, and you might be making a little. We're gonna leave that where it's at. That we don't want to give out all the free game over the airwaves today. Minute and 40 seconds left in this game. Shaw University, the Bears have this one in their claws, dare I say. Inside the red zone once again, inside the 10 once again of Central State. Torrin Campbell still at quarterback. They got a couple of fresh faces in on that offense. And like they're just going to try to wind the play clock down and then hand the ball off. And they're like that's Field once more, but he has nowhere to go. He stood up by a couple of Marauders right there.
Yeah,
Minute and 15 left to go in this game.
Taken to the ground. Yeah, he's a little woozy. His head hit that ground pretty hard on that play as he jogs gingerly to the sideline. That's one thing you don't want to see if you're a coach. Anybody hurt late in this ball game. You want to get everybody out of the ball game injury-free, and he's going to need some BC headache powder. See, I like BC. I don't like goodies, but I digress. He's going to need something after this ball game because his head hit, and you see him bent over there on the sideline. Let's hope that young man's okay.
You said BC. You're not that old. I was expecting you to say something like standing back or something like that. So I know, DB, you're not that old. You're a little old, but you still got a little youthfulness on your side. 27 seconds left to go in this game. They're going to snap it off right here. Hand it to Perry. And Perry's actually going to fumble it. And 53 is going to pick it up. And he's not going to score. And Perry, we're hurting for you up here, man. Wanting to see you get into the end zone and score for your senior campaign. But nevertheless, the Bears right here are going to walk away with, dare I say, and I don't want to say an easy W. Let's not call it that.
Yeah, nothing's easy.
Let's just, in college football, any given Saturday, let's not call it an easy W. Let's say a convincing win here at home today for their home opener.
Yeah, definitely. Both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively. Shaw has gotten it done. Special teams, Devin the Dude, he's made every extra point, also made a field goal, punt return. Jermaine Russell, explosive in the punt return game. Just an all-around team effort by Shaw University. If you're head coach Adrian Jones and your staff, there's not too many things that you can complain about next week in practice. You got to look forward to your next ball game. You're hitting the road for a tough CIAA matchup at Lincoln.
And the running back right there is going to break a couple of tackles. He's going to get tackled strongly from behind. Now, as we wrap up right here, DB, now there are a couple of candidates that we have for this, but if you could select one player of the game, give me just one name that you would pick.
Offensively, for Shaw, I'm going to go with Christian Peters at the quarterback position because it all starts with the quarterback. He's the head of the snake. He has to make the right play call. He has to execute the offense. And Peters has gotten it done in his second career start.
And then for me, I'm going to say, I'm a special team guy. I like guys who are very versatile. I'll probably go with John Barnes. He did a lot for this Bear team today as they cap off the win. Now, as the Bears look forward to Lincoln and Central look forward to going to Miles College, what can you say about this game today on both sides of the ball, on both sides of the field that they can take away for the Bears?
Yeah, like you said, convincing win for Shaw. Central State back to the drawing board. But for Shaw, 2 tough road games in the next 2 weeks at Lincoln, then at Virginia Union before you return home versus Fayetteville State. You know the history with Fayetteville State. You have to beat Fayetteville State if you're Shaw, but first you got to knock off Lincoln and Virginia Union. Long way to go for the Bears in this season.
And that is going to bring us to the end of this game today. Shaw University Bears doing what they do, doing their thing, cool as the other side of the pillow, taking care of business today at home in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shaw Bears 52, Central State 0. This is your Shaw